They banned out, I believe, in both games that they won against Nouns. Straightforward. Ench, Doom, Naga, Snapfire. They went full into comfort zone of Nouns. Enchantress is definitely something you don't want to give away. Naga as well, something that Fly has been spamming before this hero even became very popular in the competitive scene. You could see him pick it in those pubs.
And on top of that, like in that series, if you look away from the bans for a second, you would play Shadow Fiend in both of them, but then when you look forward towards, let's say, the IG series, I would argue it's like the biggest step up from a carry, where he's got his Meepo pick, he owned, he has Sven pick, the first, I think it was maybe the first Sven, or at least maybe the second Sven of the tournament, but either way, it's like a small handful of sample size, and he just pops off again. Yep. And maybe that's something Nouns can lean on as they progress through the upper bracket, is getting Yuma a core where he can just have these pop-off moments on.
And going into this series, I feel like, their road was longer for Nouns, but I feel they also gained way more than Avulus did. Because as you guys talked about the sniper, right? That sniper on position 4, I think it might trick Avulus into thinking it's a good hero in the end, even though, like you said, I absolutely agree with you. It wasn't the hero, the main reason why it was a win game for them.
It really was not. We'll see. We also are looking at the moment to the mid matchup. Lizard, you keep talking about them both being German. That's obviously an overlap. Really what other overlaps do we have in terms of the heroes that they play, and what can we learn from that?
Yeah, not too many overlaps in the heroes. That needs to be said. Like Stormstormer, always known for his hero puddle. However, this is from the last week, and I wanted to focus on Wallachia. If you go a little bit further in the past, he has played different heroes too. However, speaking of hero puddles, looking at copy, like a lot of those were 0% win rate, and then you get Storm with a really high pick rate and a win rate as well. So they haven't really strayed from their comfort zone as well on that position too.
They have not. We are having our draft on our screen. We'll see what they have going up against in the mid lane, but Avulus has read it like book. So the Storm Spirit that you mentioned is already removed. We also have the Shadow Demon, Snapfire, Enchantress removed, with the Bat Rider Pango now also by Nouns. I feel like this is such a big difference from the bans we saw in that previous game that a lot of the heroes we saw banned are just through, including that Naga Siren that we already mentioned as well.
I just want to say, I don't know what it is between Mag and Suneko, but every time I see these guys drafting, they're just having the greatest time.
They go way back. They've been, like, Mag's been a coach for multiple Suneko teams.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
Of course, but still to see them, it's just nice, you know, seeing some cheery faces during the drafting stage. On the other hand, you see very focused Fly with AA, and they go with the Beastmaster.
Yeah, just ignoring the Naga Siren, going for the Beast, and I'm just going for the Phoenix. Yeah, in regards to...
By the way, to connect it with the bans that we talked about, so Falcons, they did ban out the Beastmaster in the first phase versus Avulus, and Nouns, they do not ban it out, but they get it. So they snatch it for themselves, and guess what? Enchantress also banned the hero that usually does well against him, so some counters are out already.
Yeah, I think the Beast is just a really good building block to go on in regards to the draft, right? Like, you know, Gunner, relatively a more sacrificial offlaner. So I think Beastmaster helps kind of fix that entry to the game, because you are forced to kind of farm, get the Dominator. I think a lot of the times when Nouns have struggled is when, you know, Gunner, like on a Mars or a Centaur, he tries to make a little bit more of a fight happen, and then he might fall down the pecking order in regards to net worth.
He's just so cool on all these micro heroes, right? Like back in the day when he played mid, he played a little Lone Druid as well. Right now, Beastmaster, Visage. I love that Avulus respond instantly with a Phoenix pick. Not only is it like the ultimate comfort zone for Fly, right? Like you snatch it away from him, but historically through every patch I enjoyed this combo. It's maybe my personal preference, like Beastmaster plus Phoenix. Separating that is really nice because it's very difficult to play into.
But they could have also banned the Phoenix and picked the Naga.
Yeah, I don't really... I mean,
it's their comfort zone too. Like Suneko has been playing a lot of Phoenix recently.
Yeah, sure. But also, like, if you look at the differences between the two, Phoenix provides Sunray on whoever gets roared, then you have the shard as well. So when you go into egg form, you have the Sunray. So you're like, you keep healing that individual, then you put the pressure on. If you don't kill the egg, it's going to pop. Player preference, they might lean towards the Phoenix. It'll be interesting to know if Naga Siren is picked up now, because I don't think Avulus, they can't pick it. You know, you're not going to run Phoenix Naga double support.
No.
But Nouns easily can still go for that strong ranged 4, go for the Naga Siren, control the fights around songs. I
And
think
it's really good versus Phoenix as well, right? Like he pops that tag, you pop song, reset, and you can fight afterwards.
But you got to choose, because there's also still Clock in the pool and Hoodwink and Willow, and they're going to get one of
lot
them.
of heroes,
And there's they're all good.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with them, I feel.
it's with the fact that Avulus have decided to push Snapfire into a first phase ban. It's a hero that we've been seeing rising in popularity because it often doesn't tank the first phase ban. It's a hero that kind of just, it's good, but we can't waste it, right? Because of the Naga Siren on these heroes. Again, Avulus, they'll take the sniper themselves. Oh no. They're going to win the lane, guys. It's okay.
I mean,
it's
It's
either...
just funny. They did win, on paper. It looks great.
I mean, if they can make it work, if they feel
You
good
see
about the
Sniper,
hero.
game played, result, win. Got him.
I'm actually just surprised that Eki killed
Stats don't lie.
But the fact that, like, in an interview with Eki, he literally says, "Guys, I can't make this move. I'm a sniper. I was just hoping, like he
Stats
himself."
don't lie,
was-
by the way, 33% win rate.
Yeah. But again, as much as we're memeing it, we have to outline very strong in lane. It wins most lanes due to the shrapnel facet. After that, it becomes a lost hero as you don't have a cheap stun. You need to keep farming. You just need to be you throw a shrapnel and that's about it.
Yeah.
And then you get a couple items, right? He's at least shifted his itemization. In the series he lost to Falcons, he was trying to go like Mage Slayer and Gleipnir. In the series that he won against IG, he was going for like 4 stuff.
Yeah, he had rapiers in the end, so that's
also
out.
true. Yeah.
And there is still a flex potential. We got to acknowledge that too. It's not very strong, and they haven't done it yet, I believe, but it is still there. I am still really just liking these are like, if you're going to ask anybody to be building a draft and you don't, you take away the fact that anybody can ban heroes, these 3 heroes could just pop up because they're just all very good, very meta.
Yeah, they're super meta, they're strong, the combinations are endless as well. Between the Beastmaster and the Hoodwink, the lane is very solid, and overall, I don't think I've ever felt as badly towards a hero as much as I do towards a sniper position 4 at the moment. I feel like they just got omega baited once again just because of their latest experience. They won with the sniper, okay, they pick it. 33% win rate. There's a reason that number is so low. And at TI as well, it wasn't great. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe they make it work. Maybe they switch it up as well, like you said, but most likely not. However, at least this is something. One of the strongest heroes into Medusa, maybe not in this meta, but overall was Sniper, so now you have that Medusa as well for yourself. Very wonky draft from Avulus so far, though, I have to. But now I see why Mag and Soneko were chuckling.
Yeah.
We got an Underlord coming out as well, so they have now they left the Sniper open for potential mid swap, but overall, it seems like we got ourselves our off lane with the Sniper Underlord and their safe lane with the Medusa Phoenix.
And they've kind of already covered themselves from a potential. Again, we don't see Anti-Mage too often, but Sniper in the 4 role with Underlord, that's a hard lane for Anti-Mage to farm through. So you're already kind of soft covering yourself from the instant counter pick where opening Medusa can open for these heroes to exist.
Yeah, you can think about something else. If it's not an AM, you can think about heroes that buy diffusal, but never mind. Instead, we will be getting a Morphling.
I mean, their support duo is Phoenix Sniper.
Yeah,
they're not stunning. Yeah,
it's not only that they're not stunning and controlling the Morphling, it's literal food for him through the game. Like this Morphling, as he gets bigger and fatter, he can just get on top of them. The egg is not that amazing into him, and on top of that you have Beastmaster, so...
Are there any mids that could come with the instant stun that I'm not thinking of for Stormstormer if they want to counter that Morphling with a mid?
I would argue it's not like instant stun, but you just need to respect probably Invoker now. Like the idea of EMP to punish the Morphling early on. Like Sniper and Underlord will be able to farm in that lane.
Oh, but now still got the 2 bans going against Avulus, so that will be one of them.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Stormstorm has ultimate last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So, like all last picks, do you want to destroy your enemy mid like we saw Maureen do with a Huskar? Kind of tried to do it with the Timber. Or do you want to play something bigger for the game? Because in regards to the game, they don't really have a Morphling killer. Sure, you can get Scardy on Medusa, but there's no real pressure on him. So I think this is going to be one of those moments where, yes, you would love to just destroy the enemy mid, but you need to provide a bit more to the team.
I love that everyone is banning out the Huskar now. By the way, speaking of control, when it comes to Avulus, they do have the Pit of Malice at least. Like, it's something, it's not amazing, but it's pretty solid. The aura into the Morphling as well can come in handy. So overall, I can see this Underlord doing a lot through the game. But I don't think anyone is getting caught out by Huskar, famous last words, anymore, at least. After the last series, I think we've seen too much Huskar, plus it's played quite a lot in the pubs as well. So they banned that one out, and Nouns, what else do they... You guys mentioned, of course, the Invoker, right? Like, that's the second most common.
Yeah.
Coming from Avulus, but from them, I actually thought
they banned it out themselves. Yeah.
I thought that they might go with the Earth Spirit, but they banned out the Invoker as well. EMP, Naga, EMP and Medusa. Sorry.
True. Yep.
Not something that you really want to play into.
Yeah, and of course, Nouns picks out of this ban phase, so it's good to prevent yourself from being.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like on Avulus, they've played a lot of very sacrificial mid laners, nothing flashy on Stormer as well. Like if you remember the games that we watched, there was some Viper there as well, heroes such as that. So I'm not saying this is a great Viper game, but we might see unconventional Stormer picks here.
I mean, is Pango banned?
Pango is banned in the first phase.
Yeah, okay,
we also now have a tiny ban coming out.
Imagine an OD pick, like for Avulus. Like, it's not happening for sure, but long time ago, like you'd look at this Beastmaster, you'd look at this Morphling.
If they did that,
it's a save.
Sniper goes to mid if that happens, and then you crush him.
No, he means for Avulus.
Oh, sorry, I am.
Yeah, but never mind. Queen of Pain as well, by the way. One hero that we didn't mention that's completely in the meta, and I think this basically leaves out only Lina for Avulus. Like, you go insta-pick it. This should be a very solid lane into the Quap, and you have burst damage into the Morphling later on.
No matter what they pick here from Avulus, there is this inevitable respect you're going to have to give towards the elusiveness of Quap and Morphling. To lock them down will require itemization rather than the
Lion, so
what?
Sniper mid?
Sniper mid then. Yep. Unless we go for Lion mid.
Oh, God.
No, it will be Stormer on the Sniper.
Okay.
It's rough for Quap.
At least fixes the draft a little bit, right? If they didn't pick up some additional lockdown, but
look, I was gonna go hard on them. Like, looking at their draft, seeing Phoenix Sniper as 2 supports, I really did not like that. So
Lion fixes it.
Yeah, Lion definitely fixes that, and I think this was the great debate. Like, they put the Sniper.
They put it 4 for so many games in a row that everybody was thinking, of course, it's gonna be 4. But so for this moment right here,
Avulus will have this spooky timing. If Medusa gets to like Manta, Butterfly, you play with the auras of Underlord. Maybe you get like a dispersive sniper or something like annoying, like throwing concussive grenades and stuff. Like, I can see Avulus being really formidable if Medusa has farm, but Nouns have so many strong meta picks that you can just play around those pickoffs and keep trying to gank.
Yeah, the only question for me is the mid lane and how well will Copy do with the Quap versus the Sniper, because it can be a rough lane. At the same time, looking at Avulus, I don't like their draft in the general sense. Like, you don't have any conventional playmaker. Your cores are basically Sniper, Medusa, Underlord. It's hard to play this game unless your Lion pops off. And Eki, he's been doing that recently.
It's all about the late game. Avulus win it like an hour. Can you outscale a Medusa and a
hour,
Sniper?
Of course.
Can Morphling do it all? You know, that's all Avulus need to do.
If your question is regarding that mid lane, I think it's also very important to realize how active the supports can be, right? Because on the side of Nouns, you got a Beastmaster. Surely Beastmaster can be fine by himself. Underlord, same story. But in terms of rotations, Hoodwink and Hoodwink versus Lion, Hoodwink is a little bit faster. So who knows, maybe that help to the mid lane will come a little bit faster. We're finding out, but first, some coach words.
Hi there, I am here with AA, who's wearing Milan's shirt here. Why is that?
Mix up at the print factory for sure.
Fantastic. So, Mr. AA, we saw that Sniper get a little flexed over to the mid there. What was your reaction? Was the team terrified? Did Fly jump out of its chair? Or were you prepared for this?
I mean, it's probably their most played hero, so we've definitely seen their past drafts, and we're kind of ready for it. So, I mean, they have that hero and Pango that they flex, so not that afraid.
Okay. The man is knowledgeable. There we go. What do you think about this Morphling and Quap deal? You think you got enough elusiveness? I mean, they do have the Pit, the Underlord Pit, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, for Morphling, it's not a problem, right? He doesn't care. He's just going to morph strength. For Quap, it's a bit of a problem. I just believe that Copy is just going to crush this game, so just not going to be a problem for him either.
Full faith in the Copy. Is he the one that needs to do the best in this game in order for you guys to be successful, or does somebody else have that as well?
I think everybody does. We definitely picked really greedy, so I'm a bit worried our first 20 minutes. If we can just weather the storm, if we get past minute 25 and we're not crushed, I think this game's ours.
Okay, well, get your timers started, ladies and gentlemen. Will we make it past level minute 25? We will find out. Let's head into that game.
Nailed it. So good. Man, we're ready. It's all going on. AA seemed to be very clear-headed about what he thought. Was he clear-headed about this, though? Seneko getting bodied early. Never mind. He's walking away.
I mean, I think AA would be pretty happy about that. I don't think he has any issue with the enemy team getting first blooded.
True.
But not gonna happen, question mark. Yeah, trick shot.
The blood grenade. Blood him down. He's not blood.
Tango. Okay, does Tango actually heal faster than Blood Grenade deals damage?
No.
I've never thought about that. It's very close.
Yes.
It almost negates the grenade entirely.
I just said a yes or no, and I wasn't even sure what the question was fully, but
Okay,
that's fine.
thank you. That's good. I'm used to that from the guy I usually talk to, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I thought the interview was kind of interesting because I had a different read on this situation, actually. He said they needed to get through the first 25 minutes and they'd be fine. I was looking at this game and feeling like I don't know how much Avulus are going to be able to do in the first 25 minutes.
Interesting.
Mid sniper, carry Dusa, offlane Underlord. This Tricore is very slow and very greedy in my opinion.
Maybe he mixed up the drafts.
So, yeah, maybe he thought he was the coach of the other team. Could you imagine? Oh, yeah, I love our draft. Sniper Medusa, great.
Oh, no. What's going on?
And the other thing is he felt confident that if this game goes late, they've got it in the bag.
Right.
For me, the wildcard hero that can really make the big difference here is the Naga.
Yeah.
Where you're playing into Phoenix, you're playing into Stonegaze, and just being able to disengage with Song and re-engage can be very powerful. For sure. So later down the line, that's going to help you. But yeah, I don't know. Do you share the same sentiment? Are you worried about the first 25 minutes? I mean, I don't know. Like,
not really. I'm much more concerned about Sniper Medusa as it goes late game with like Underlord, Aghanims pitting in. You know what I mean? That to me feels really scary for a couple of these years. I guess the flip side of that is like AA was talking about. This Morphling can sort of survive some of those ganks by moving his strength form, and then obviously you've got great potential to sort of play around slightly immobile heroes because they're super mobile.
Maybe he was thinking about just the raw laner matchups in themselves, and I'm looking more at the macro sense.
Got it.
And he feels like, okay, Sniper is a good matchup into Queen, so that one's going to be tough. The Underlord Lion lane might do pretty well early on because Underlord's going to get farm against our Naga Morph, which is a very greedy lane. And then the offlane of Hoodwink Beastmaster is very strong and aggressive, but they maybe feel like, okay, it's not that likely that we find kills onto Medusa. So maybe he feels like they are not going to put pressure. And even if the other team isn't either, they could still perhaps, inch out a little bit of an advantage. Maybe that's the mindset here, but we'll see.
It's pretty rare that you get an interview where you end with more questions than when the interview started.
Yeah.
Sir Action Slacks special.
Yep. Thank you, Slacks. But you know what? I actually kind of like that we came to that conclusion. Both teams are pretty slow and greedy.
Yeah.
And he is worried about them being too greedy themselves if the other team pops off. But that, as the panel talked about, really will have to come from this dual offlane of Lion and Underlord.
Yes.
That's the way it feels when you look at it. And so far, so good for the side of Nouns. They have pretty good early laning stage here. The CS looks quite solid. The two heroes suffering the most are the two carries. Medusa as well as Morph are a little bit further down than the rest of the course, but nothing too shabby.
And in mid, Copy is winning. He's doing a really good job right now on this Queen of Pain, 22-9 versus 18-4. And should be noted, have a couple of heroes that could rotate in there. I think most notably is going to be Lelis on this Hoodwink, like Shiver was talking about. Very quick to be able to make the moves over. We'll get a bushwhack there, and Gunnar could think about throwing some axes, but decides not to.
Yeah, seeing Gunnar going for the 2 points into Wild Axes here. We've seen primarily Beastmasters go for the maxed out Call of the Wild, and sometimes even Call of the Wild Inner Beast and just bypassing axes entirely. But taking the approach of, we're going to play this lane through spam between Hoodwink and Beast, and he's going to rush the Arcane Boots here on the Beastmaster, which will enable them to just constantly throw out these spells against the Deuce and try to whittle down her mana pool. Of course, when she has a stick, that kind of goes both ways. Eki, by the way, taking some serious damage, and Snare
pulls him back
reel him in.
The Hex is there to try and buy some time, but Eki gonna be first blood. Yuma able to find it. Also worth noting, while that kill was going on, it was a triple stack. The Hoodwink got the hard camp and the Ancients, and Gunnar got the other Ancients with his boar.
No, so definitely prepping to ramp up that farm with the Wild Axes here. One of the upsides to going this build on Beastmaster is your ability to farm those stacks yourself. And in the meantime, Hoodwink could take the lane, and you can get this like symbiotic setup where you give Hoodwink 6 through giving her the shared experience from the camp she has stacked on top of the lane at the same time, and you just disappear off the map for a minute, minute and a half to farm up those stacks. So yeah, it looks like that's the plan. Lilith might want to stack again, but first he has to check out this vision here, as both supports of Avulus have rotated in to protect the 6-minute rune.
Interesting.
Flies on the top one, so let's see who gets lucky.
We'll see that stack being made, and Stormstormer sitting there has to blink all the way away over to the bounty. Knows that there's nothing else he can do there. So gets a bottle refill, copy, has level 6.
Wonder if they want to steal these stacks. It's a level 3 shrapnel. If you just bring Sniper, Phoenix, and Lion and they cast a spell each,
Lelis spots
Lelis
this.
is protecting it. So Neko trying to solo it with the shield rune. This is not gonna happen, I think.
Well, he does have the Dying Light.
Okay, Sniper
Eki
joins.
shows
There we
up,
go.
and well, looks like they're going to get a good chunk of it. Lelis just going to sit here and soak some XP. Gunnar shows up too late, so a nice play by Avulus.
They needed to bring the Sniper, and they did, and then they cleaned that up.
Oh, but 7? Lion should
Interesting
get
situation. There's, I mean, you can't lose this as Lion. It's not possible. So Eki will get this.
Reel him in.
And they'll even kill him too, for good measure.
Yeah, there's no chance that works.
1 for 1 on the Wisdoms.
They did force the TP of the Sniper, though, and Copy thought about it. Decides not to go for the kill in the end.
I might have not been able to get that Sonic Wave kill, considering Soneko might have dodged some of the damage with the dive and also has a Healing Lotus. Instead, Copy will get a nice little bottle refill from Fly returning from the grave. Still relatively calm early game, but we are starting to see Avulus getting a little bit more out of the lanes in terms of just raw CS now, but the net worths are more or less dead even. This is probably the closest. I mean, look at them.
Yeah.
Just every hero and their counterpart within just 200 of each other minute 8, and the supports aren't rich in any way either, so just dead even Copy. 8-minute rune again. Compared to just like the 6-minute rune. This one will be tough though, but this time Stormstormer is there for the top one. So again, Nouns don't get the rune. Roar.
1-2 him down bottom.
That's
and the Hoodwink connection. Nice.
Overwhelming with the 4-hero rotation using the Roar plus the Yuma Morphling connecting, and he'll head straight back up top to farm again.
I mean, this is the cost of bringing all those heroes mid, is that your safe lane is completely abandoned. So can they get some substantial damage onto this tower? Eki in an interesting position with this ward. They have wards on either side. One of them I think got taken out, so Copy feels safe. Unfortunately, he is not. Assassinate out and dead.
Very nice kill. Should give them the tower here too. Wave is coming in.
The easy plink down means that eventually Stormstormer claims the tower for himself. In the meantime, Gunnar begins to work on his stacks as another round of them is made in the Ancients. So, I mean, if Gunnar can clear these all by himself, this is a really great start for the Beast.
Yeah.
Look at those
and
stats.
he can. He just needs a little bit of time. This is just a matter of not getting intercepted while doing it. It gets easier and easier as you build up the wild access stacks on them. So in the meantime, he's also taking care of the tower CS here, so getting a ton out of this.
Oh, yeah.
The next axis will give him level 7, and then he will clean up the rest with level 4 axis. We're going to keep an eye on this here.
This is big, though. A smoke moving in this direction can really throw things off a little bit here. They will see that the stacks are beginning to be taken. They don't know about the Beastmaster doing the other ones. They don't even know that those exist yet. Snako starts to hit onto it. Lelis is there, and Sonic Wave! Snako dead.
Yeah, that'll protect the stacks. Well, Sniper did get a decent chunk of them with Shrapnel, actually, but the Ancients remain under Nouns' control, and Gunnar is starting to finish off on the other side here. He's now level 8 on the Beastmaster. Finger of Death Assassinate, and it's during the finger timing, so he will get the stack. That was quite close, actually, to the finger expiring, I think, but worked out.
Copy tries to build into the Dagon. Very, very slow game so far. 10 minutes in, 3-3. Very much a farm battle at the moment. They do have 2 components of the Aghanim Scepter done on Gunnar, and now Lelis stepping forward, immediately taken down by Smiling Knight. No Bushwhack coming out. Axes trying to build up stacks of it. Gunnar stepping forward. Fly will not get hit by the Gorgon's Grasp. Eki is there. Copy taking some damage. Will have Blink back up in a few. 1 second away and jumps out just in time. They do end up finding a Roar, buying some extra movement. Zibe moves in with the ulti. But in the end, doesn't look like there's any meaningful kills at this point.
This is a pretty big rotation for Avulus, but they do get the tower.
Ooh.
So it should be well worth it.
Can they take this away, though? Only 1 shrapnel, but an important moment as Gunnar tries to clean these ones up. See how many they can steal away. Smiling Knight is right out there. Fly moving in. Send in those illusions. Deluge, Stormstormer. And I mean, it's a lot of stacks there onto the Sniper. Good damage out, but they get most of them on Beast.
Time for another power rune. Copy once again does not get it. It's bottom. And he was losing it top to Zibe anyway. So this is going to be an Invis rune for Stormstormer. But like you said, very, very even. Seems to be very much just a matter of this game is played in the dire triangle.
Yeah.
The whole game, it feels like everything has happened over here. And for the most part, Nouns haven't bled out too much and been able to get the majority of their stacks. And this is going to result in a very fast Drums of Slom on the Beastmaster. So this is, I want to say, the 3rd or 4th Beastmaster game we cast together. And I want to say it's an even split now between Drums and the Helm of the Overlord.
Right.
Maybe we've actually had 5 or 6 now that I think about it. Probably more Overlord games than Drums, but wonder what guides that judgment here, that he thinks Drums of Slom is the right choice. Considering you're playing into a pretty greedy lineup with Medusa, Sniper, and Underlord, I think a lot of players would be gravitating in the opposite direction to try to take map control and take space away from them, rather than play the I am going to be greedy for myself kind of strategy.
Underlord moving in. Gonna try and defend this one. She does fairly easily.
Yeah.
And with the mech done, immediately going into the pipe, not valuing the Dispel as much in this instance and just having that magic resistance, which will be really nice for when Beastmaster comes in.
Yeah, I think Greaves aren't really that valuable here. I think maybe he won't even get them necessarily after the pipe. He might go for some other value item.
Oh?
I feel like there was potentially a case to be made in this game for even going Atos with the limited catcher lineup has, but considering that he's going double Aura first, probably not going to consider that at all as his next choice.
Fly
Time for Wisdoms, double for the side of Nouns. That's pretty big.
Oh yeah. Very, very nice. They will be giving up a tier 1 tower, it looks like, and not able to make a move for another one in turn. So Avulus getting more out around the map, it feels like, in terms of objectives, and have a slight lead, but maybe going to try and put a stop to that here. You got Dagon done on Queen of Pain.
Dagon Drums of Slom is definitely a strong timing. Morph is close to the Manta as well, but you got to look at the other side as well. You're fighting
Look, he got
if
20
there is
stacks
any
of
indication, if you had any doubt in your mind what type of game this was, and you just tuned in,
yeah,
they are roaring Roche for a reason, okay? All right, this is going to be a really nice Aegis for Gunnar. It's going to protect him when he's farming the triangle here.
And they think he has roar
gets
still.
ganked.
So a scary time, I am sure.
Looking to put some pressure on the bot tier 1 with this, probably. We'll see if Avulus want to respond.
With a very even game, 18 minutes in, it does sort of beg the question, if you're not out-greeting the other team, do you need to outfight them? I mean, it seems like both teams probably feel confident going into the later stages. At the very least, we know that Nouns do. So maybe they're not under pressure.
Do you have any doubts that Avulus are also comfortable with how they've been playing so far?
Not at all. That's what's really weird about this game. Like, I think both teams just feel good about what's happening. They're just hitting creeps. They're having the time of their lives.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah?
I'm vibing.
Hanging out, having a good time.
I'm okay. They made. I think it's time to look at the stack counter to really get an idea of who's ahead in this game, because it's the only metric that shows anything of what has happened is who stacked more camps. All right.
Oh my God!
A landslide victory for Nouns with 21 stacks in 19 minutes.
This is the real kill counter here.
To
honestly.
the 17 of Avulus. I mean, it is
3 to 4 kills, 17 to 21 stacks.
Now that doesn't account for how many of them were stolen, because it feels like Avulus did invade and take some of them away. So probably all in all kind of even, so actually.
We're kind of even again.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right, Avulus are going to smoke. They're looking for an opportunity to maybe catch the Morphling off guard with the Lion Hex.
How many more metrics do you think we can be even with? We're even. Oh, look, Dota Plus win probability, very even there.
Oh, 57% is pretty good. That's a very good pub win rate to have. If you play a lot of games, that's how you climb.
That's right. Each team has 5 players. That's very even.
Yeah, that's true. Both teams have 1 mech.
Right. They're going to have 1 pipe apiece.
Who's buying the pipe on Nouns? Is Beast?
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Look at that.
So yeah, they're close to. Okay, smoke. Both teams are smoked.
Hero damage for these carries. 3.8k.
Well, he's more than doubling him up, so they must be ahead.
But they're losing because that's not about, like, net worth.
Yeah, how much damage have they done to creeps? Can we bring that one up?
I don't think so. That's not a thing.
I don't actually know if you can even track that in the game.
Fantasy points. Oh, I like that. Gunner's ahead. He's gonna get me the win in this league.
Okay.
Jump in, roar, copy, ready, roar, Dagon, bursted, no, it's done. Copy is dead for the Phoenix. Fly did have song.
Yeah, I thought he was going to sing instantly there. All right, Stormstormer
no,
keeps...
Fly, not like this. That's not great.
Okay. Well, that was not an even exchange because one team lost a support and the other lost a support.
But it's 5 to 5. So it's even.
What, sorry?
It's 5 to 5. So
that's true. That's pretty even, yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's 21 minutes, 21 seconds, so that's also even. It's no longer even. It was the best second of the game, though. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's my favorite moment.
What's your favorite
I can't wait for 22-22. It's only 50 seconds away, and I'm already... I'm getting all warm and fuzzy of the thought of it saying 22-22 up there soon. Gunner goes through the gate, but not for the reason most people go through the gate. It is not to gank.
He's killing creeps.
He is finding himself a new triangle.
That's
and
right.
It's one you didn't know existed, but this is the Bermuda Triangle. He's going to disappear down here farming, and people will wonder, where did Gunner go?
Are there going to be conspiracy theories about Gunner? You know, I heard he's actually Lul.
He's what? Sorry?
Lo. The Chinese carry player.
Oh, Lo. Oh.
He looks a lot like him.
I see.
This smoke up right now is going to be huge. You know why? Because it's 22-22.
Oh, yeah, baby. There it is.
Oh, let's go.
Man, somebody pause.
That's sick.
All right.
That was really good.
Another minute. It'll be 23-23, okay? We can celebrate that for quite a while in this game.
Amplify.
The problem is we might get past 59-59, and then the moment's gone.
We have to wait a really long time then.
Then we can't celebrate anymore.
It's okay. We'll always have 22-22.
Yeah.
Gunner TP's out.
Never forget.
Oh, no, he wasn't. He was channeling. Dangerous. Hexed. Gunner go
nice
down.
Timing, right as the Aegis expires.
Yikes.
I mean, they were going to kill them twice because there was nobody around anyway, but...
True.
Okay. All right. So, as we are looking at a 3K gold lead, we're only 10 seconds away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... Yes!
Very good. Let's go.
There it is.
That's the good
There's
stuff.
a pike on Sniper.
Okay.
It's good for him. It allows him to hit creeps from further away. So he can farm a little bit more efficiently, as Medusa is clearly the big breadwinner of this game. She's just farming faster than anyone, which is to be expected because she is the best farming hero in the game. In this particular game, that is.
Okay. Good.
And Avulus are building themselves, step by step, a bigger and bigger advantage.
They have Disperser, Smiling Knight, which is pretty sick. I'm going in for Scotty next. No butterflies here.
Okay, pushing the tower. Nouns, they are in position to try to fight back here if they want to, but statistically speaking, the number of roars used on heroes and creeps are even.
Yes.
We'll see if we can push them over the limit here with Aurora and Dusa. It does not look like they're particularly interested in taking this fight. They have the heroes around, but kind of just enjoying the view from the high ground, and I can appreciate that. Sometimes you just need a good vista. That's right. To watch as your buildings fall.
You know, we missed 24-24.
Oh my God.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, what happened during 24-24?
I mean, the same thing as 23.
Okay.
But when I was at Times Square for the ball drop, we let time go by faster by like doing little scratch it tickets.
Okay.
And we did 1 an hour. And I feel like it's kind of like this, you know, you're just like, you're scratching for the lottery. At 25-25, we might win $1 million here.
Okay. I was about to ask, what's the potential grand prize here?
$1 million.
If there's $1 million on the line every minute, I will watch with bated breath. Okay, I am going to. My eyes are glued to the screen right now.
That's right.
All right.
I have
next scratcher in 5 seconds.
Double
you have to tell me if I won, okay?
All right, I'm ready.
All right.
Oh my God, you won!
What?
You won $1 million!
From who?
From Gaben.
Oh, sick. I'm going to email him right away.
Yeah, it's a special Crimson. It's coming up soon. Check your...
Oh my goodness. A $1 million Dota item?
That's crazy. As we're going to see the Tormentor go down here.
Nick, he gets a shard. And he actually has the monitoring facet. He didn't take the Fist of Death.
Yeah.
He took the Essence Eater. We missed, wait, we didn't miss anything. Wow, I'm getting ahead of myself. Time flies when you're having fun. I thought we already missed another minute, but we didn't.
No, that's why you won the $1 million.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm having so much fun. I'm just thinking about what I'm going to use Gaben, like 0.01% of Gaben's net worth on today.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, that's going to be sick. All right, 10 seconds, Gabe.
I'm ready. Is it going to be if I win? Can I win this time?
I think we're checking yours.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right.
It's time.
Oh my God, that's unlucky.
What happened?
You won yourself 1 minute of farming.
Oh, okay. That's good, though, at least. I mean, we can enjoy that also.
Yeah.
It's not as good as $1 million, but just barely.
Depends how fast you farm.
That's true.
If you have a really big farm, you could probably farm $1 million in 1 minute.
If you had to farm one crop, what would it be? Well, what crop would you want?
I would plant money trees.
Okay. Yeah. It's the perfect place for shade.
Okay, bottom tier 2, taking significant damage. There is the siege creep, but they are leaving it behind.
Double ward placed, rarely seen but much appreciated by the tier 2 down there. That's a nice one. This is a really important spot for Nouns right here. So is this one for Avulus.
They're taking Roche.
It's happening.
Gunner, you can't let them do it. You got to show them who's boss with the roar.
They have Roche's banner now too.
Yeah. Okay, I can't help but feel like
nothing has happened in like 10 minutes.
I can't help but feel like that either, but it does feel like Avulus are just gaining more out of this. When you're playing Medusa Sniper and your late game supports are Lion Phoenix and everybody is just farming, do Nouns actually have the solutions for these two artillery heroes? Like, Morphling ideally wants to fight right now. Maybe he will.
Wait, hold. Okay, they're getting out. Yeah, they're running away.
I got excited for a second.
Maybe Smiling Knight if they step too far forward.
Okay.
They see him. They see him.
Yeah, he has Aegis, though. They can't kill him twice. And that's the thing about their lineup, right? You want, with Morphling, I feel like you want to hit the timing where you have these, like, basically these exact items. I think Yuma really wants to fight, and the problem for Nouns is finding an angle where you jump someone that isn't Medusa and that you can actually kill. I think Underlord is not a target, so you want to find Lion, you want to find Phoenix, or especially if you could somehow find Sniper. But they feel like Avulus got too good of a position on them.
I mean, here's the thing, though. Double A in the coach interview said if they make it past 25 minutes, they're feeling good about the game.
Yep.
And that happened. So
It
they're
did.
feeling good about the game on Nouns right now.
All right. We missed a couple of minutes, by the way.
I'm okay with this.
All right.
I think we can catch back up here again soon. Almost
That's the good thing about scratchers. You can just do multiple at a time.
That's right.
Save them for later.
We got to find new prizes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, after I won the grand prize, there isn't really much left to,
Yeah, we
dream
kind
of
of
anymore,
blew
right?
a wad a little early there, didn't we? It's okay,
Yuma
though.
gets to hit the tier 2 tower bottom, so it looks to be a tower trade. Avulus take tier 2 mid, and they are going high ground.
Oh,
Smiling Knight with
look
the
at
banner.
It's in front.
He is hitting the tower.
Whatever will I do with you? Lelis ready. There it is, the bushwhack to start. More to come. They do not have Crimson Guard yet, but Gunnar is building towards it, which means this tower is vulnerable. Yuma steps forward, takes out the banner, they kill the creeps, and now the counter glyph. Nouns are going to have to throw out some damage here. They miss on the pit, and Smiling Knight will stand on the pit, and now hit the racks. The racks have fallen, Synderen, and they're walking away.
Right.
Copy has the wave mid.
A very successful strategic siege from Avulus.
Chase?
Nouns did not see it coming and did not have the solutions there.
That's true.
Unfortunately, Avulus will back off, and Yuma has found the triangle. Together with Copy, though, they're fighting over it. That's not great.
Okay.
The efficiency is not ideal. It's not maximum.
Yuma. Oh, sorry. I thought he was going to do something there. My bad. As Stormstormer and Seneko are just getting right on at it. Copy underneath a ward. Medusa has Butterfly. It looks like they're going to run down the top lane and try and hit the buildings.
Yep. Well, Nouns didn't defend the last one, really. They destroyed the banner, but lost their range tracks. Let's see what they do about this one. Now there's going to be a sniper BKB to contend with as well, so Stormstorm is going to be a much more difficult target than before.
Bushwhack.
And in comes Smiling Knight.
He is very serious.
In the mid lane, Zibe is pushing out and forcing Gunner's pipe to protect the wave mid.
Smiling Knight continues to hit the racks. I'm looking at his face right now. He is very serious. Serious gamer. Out of mana. Waiting to die. Fly is dead. Smiling Knight is on a killing spree. Smiling Knight actually smiling now. 7-5. The other Rax is also dead. 45 seconds. They need to wait a little bit longer here.
Okay, I've cast a lot of Dota, okay?
Yeah.
I've cast a lot of games.
Yes.
I cannot remember watching a game like this.
No, it's...
It must have been years, or I would remember it. This is bizarre. It almost feels like I'm watching a parody of a Dota game. This is OpenAI
Yes.
against OpenAI.
Another glyph.
It's like they're learning. They're figuring something out here.
They're looking
Second lane.
back line. Medusa continues to hit the racks. And they are going to walk away from this one. This is...
Bro, what is happening? Okay, I'm losing my mind. I'm actually so confused.
They got Greaves now.
They just got 2 lanes of barracks, and the only hero that was killed was a Naga that was casting Reel in. Do something! What?
Oh, that tickled me. Oh, that was good.
I actually can't, man. What?
It's okay. You know what? It's okay. It's all going to be saved. Coming up now, look at the timer, Cinder.
Oh,
It's
boy.
33-33. 7-5 at 33-33. It's time to run down another lane. Oh, baby.
All right, well, they could wait for the next Roche. 2 minutes for the early respawn for Avulus, if they want to wait for it. I wonder what timing Nouns are waiting for. Like, I just need this one more item. Okay.
I mean, in all seriousness, they are getting closer to an MKB for Yuma, which will allow them to hit. Copy. Oh, they missed.
Oh my god, that is the best reaction. I love it.
Okay. 11,000.
Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, they missed. All right. Well, all right, 94%. They're almost all the way to the finish line here. Avulus, have they done it? Have they set a world record?
Looking. They find him. Lelis caught. Hex killed. Brought down.
Okay. Well, that's good.
All right, they have MKB on Morphling now.
Yeah.
I think they hit their timing.
Okay.
Whew.
I'm ready. Just tell me when.
They see Morphling now.
Yeah. That's a
will
D-ward from
D-ward.
Soneko, so no vision here for Nouns.
True. Avulus holding the high ground and really controlling the tempo of the game.
I feel like both teams have controlled it together.
There's not a lot of damage done.
There's something beautiful about a Dota truce. Unfortunately, the buildings are not involved in this truce.
No, the buildings are falling
Smiling
again.
No Aegis.
Roar!
He's roared!
Got him! Yuma on top of him. Do they have the damage to kill off this Medusa? They're hitting hard, but they're hardly hitting because Medusa is very strong. The egg is out smiling. Knight stands tall. That is GG called. Cinder, and it was all for that.
Wow. What a game. What a game. I've watched a lot of games, and in my time as a commentator, this is one of the games I have watched.
Yes.
One of the games of all time.
Wow.
Truly spectacular stuff. Avulus win the game 11-5 with megas.
Yes.
I don't know if I've ever seen that in my entire life.
No. Not really me either. I'm going to be honest with you.
Absolutely incredible stuff. What can you say? I can't wait for the next game. I just don't know what to expect. I don't know what they're going to bring here, what new ideas, how the teams are going to adapt to each other.
Yeah.
And really figure it out. But wow, this is going to be a crazy one for the panel to break down. I don't know which highlight they're going to be focusing on.
Let's head on into there and talk about the panel. Great job, guys.
Great job to us, yes. Great job for being able to sit through that one. Oh my gosh.
It was starting with the highlights, by the way. That's how fun it was.
I don't know what I just watched. And you know what? You know, I do my notes. I'm trying hard, you know. And I wrote down what Double A said after during the coaching interview. He said Quap is going to crush this game, and he was only a bit worried about the first 20 minutes. But if we survive that, we should be fine. And then he said 20 to 25 minutes. So he gave himself an extra 5-minute time. They did not do anything.
Yeah, no, they didn't. That fifth kill, by the way, for Nouns was like 21 minutes into the game, so...
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended at 32 or so, or 35, something like that.
First of all, I think the interview was a bit skewed perspective. The read was a bit wrong there. And for Avulus, their heroes are meant to scale, right? You have a Morphling that against Sniper and Medusa, you can't outscale both of them. The Quap can't really kill Medusa in the late game, so you have to try and threaten the map early. Beastmaster takes early Aegis, so you're meant to utilize that early. Hoodwing wants to play with the Beastmaster to fight early, but at no point did I see the Queen or the Beast or the Hoodwing want to fight early. Credit Phoenix, Underlord, Sniper, they're scary to run at, you know?
Yeah.
They are scary to run into, but, you know, I've done a lot of waiting rooms in my time. I've literally watched paint dry. I've watched paint dry for 13 hours in a day, and that was more enjoyable than watching that game. I've literally watched paint dry. Please, Nouns, do something next game. That was awful.
I have to commend them, you know,
What? How?
I truly do. With all that's happening in the world and in Dota, they took the path of pacifism. Like,
True,
it is
Sure.
commendable after all.
Straight to the lower bracket. That's what's going to help.
I'm not sure. I hope they. I don't want to go too hard, but I hope they find their initiate button in this. Next game, because they need to start initiating some fights. That was pretty rough.
So why would they? What would be the reason why they didn't feel like they could initiate?
They did once in this game.
Yeah.
Like the worst part is, like, usually we all watch the games in the green room on a big screen. This time around, I wanted to do a telestrator, so I sat my ass right in front of the PC, and I'm watching.
Nothing's
happening.
For the right moment.
Literally nothing is happening. I see Tiga with like a peripherally, he's moving past, like literally nothing is happening. There was one moment, Copy jumps in on the mid lane around the tier 2. Like, he gets one kill, he gets hexed, he dies. Fly uses Song too late. And then Fly dies as well.
That was the last time Nouns got a kill. I have it here on my tab.
It's this one. Here we go.
Let's go.
Oh.
This is it. That was the last kill for Nouns in this game.
Do you think that there is something about this sequence of events that breaks a person?
Yes, and I actually think, as much as we're memeing, this is the type of fight that stops Nouns from wanting to be aggressive, right? They look for a fight, and at any time, Underlord can TP in, Phoenix can egg or Sunray to turn around, and then Medusa is hard to kill. And if you're not going on Sniper, Sniper's also throwing shrapnels. So I can see why Nouns were afraid. Lots of defensive tools, but the fact that they weren't able to make one good smoke, one good move, like, that's the baffling part. I know that you should respect your opponent's draft, but, like, they gave it so much respect, they didn't do anything until they actually exploded.
I'll just give one benefit to the Sniper pick.
Yeah.
Versus Naga, you get that long-range mini-stun.
Sure, assassinate, yeah.
So that's something that prevented them from being overly aggressive at all. It prevented them from doing anything, because they were, okay, we can't rely on Fly's reset in the song, so we have to take things slowly. And slowly they did take it.
Well, Avulus did, yes, but not Nouns. I will say that if you're this far behind for Nouns, or rather this incapable of making moves, at some point, pivotal point in the game could be, potentially, to change the tides, Roshan. Why didn't they set themselves up better for a Roshan fight? They had a lot of time to do so.
They had the 20-minute Roshan. They killed their Quap trying to use it, because Beast had it, and then they just didn't get the next one. And at that point, I feel like Avulus's draft is meant to take a little bit of time to come online, and 30-40 minutes into the game, in a normal competitive game of fighting, that's when they take over. But the fact that Nouns allowed them to free farm for pretty much the entire game, they basically dragged the late game from 40 minutes all the way down to 25 minutes.
What makes this whole situation even more ridiculous is that you are playing into Medusa Sniper. Like,
core, yes.
Two cores that you always want to dominate in the early game. Like, these are the cores that you want to crush as soon as possible, because what's a Sniper going to do? Like, he's not very mobile. Medusa as well. Sure, she's tankier, but you don't want to allow them to scale. I just want to actually imagine or get to know what Stormer was thinking in this game as a Sniper. He's like,
they're not doing anything.
Are they just going to let me far?
We do know what happened, because Synderen in the cast said that he bought Hurricane Pike to farm quicker.
Yeah, he
because
did.
the more range. We know why. They spoke about it already. But maybe that's, unironically, maybe that's the answer to Naga Siren. Just pick multiple cores that want to scale and be big physical damage dealers. It's like, please, if you want to fight disengage, well, we don't care, because we're just going to keep farming whilst you're hoping for that one big fight where you jump on us. Well, that's not going to happen. So it's a cool concept to deal with Naga, but again, baffling. In all my time, it's been so long since I've seen a game like this, and I hope to never see
You've seen a game like this before?
I mean, I've cast a lot of Div 2, Div 1 DPC.
Yeah.
Like, there's sometimes it happens in a Div 2 game back in the day of DPC, but in Tier 1 Dota type stuff?
Well, there's different opinions to what tier we're watching anyway at the moment, but the one thing is very clear. Game 1, Avulus won that game. Regardless of what style they did it at, they are one game up in this upper bracket. And another thing to keep in mind is that Game 2 cannot be worse than Game 1. So if you want to watch some... hopefully more active
They could have
Dota.
0 kills, Shiva. They could have 0 kills. It could get worse.
Make sure you stick
jinxed
around for game number 2. You know how we're feeling after a game 1 like that? It's like game 2 should be better. But I'm wondering, how do the players feel after a game like that? Because, Lizard, that can't... Okay, when we're very difficult, put yourself in Nouns' shoes. You have to call GG, because you couldn't kill the Medusa, the one fight you took. What do you talk about? What do you do? Where do you go?
This is very depressing. But yeah, I don't know. Like in that situation, if I put all the memes aside,
yeah,
I feel like you chuck it up to the Medusa, you blame it on the hero. You blame it that there wasn't really much that you could do into it. Like sometimes, long time ago, if you guys remember, there was a patch. There was a Medusa patch in which games were literally like this. She'd get 22-minute Manta plus Butterfly, take ages, and the game was over. You just couldn't even put up a fight. I think there was something that brought Nouns back into that patch, and they didn't realize that, hey, we have a very big Beastmaster. Like our co-op has BKB Dagon. Maybe we can jump someone, kill some supports at least, make stuff happen on the map. They just need to shake this one off, go in with a fresh mindset, and start playing some Dota.
Yeah, I also feel like, so far in their run at PG Valahia, they haven't had to play Naga Siren on both first and second pick. They have sometimes banned it out. Like, even against themselves, when they had first pick, they'd ban it out. So I don't think they've been a Naga Siren team. And then in this game, it's like they get, draft progresses, it's suddenly second phase. We're talking, oh, wait, Naga's still available. Why aren't they going for it? Well, clearly, they just haven't wanted to play it so far. And I just don't think they were a very good Naga team.
That's the weird. Maybe they're not as a team, but that's so weird because I played with him like in the pubs. Like he was crushing with the Naga. Like a couple of games.
But it's an entire team game.
Yeah, but it is exactly. Naga is not as easy to play as some other fives. You have to know what you're doing. There's a lot of map pressure, a lot of map that you're taking away as well with the illusions. But you know what? I think that last game is best forgotten. Let's go to the fresh new draft.
All right,
guys.
We do a fresh new draft.
We're playing a best of 2. If Avulus win game 1, we just both say they play the second one, but it's now a best of 2.
Yeah, let's go with that. I will say that in terms of what was banned in the previous, or what was banned now that was played in the previous game, I think that's only the Phoenix coming out there. We do have a little bit of a change up on the bans. We have the Nyx Assassin ban to protect that Enchantress a little bit, as Avulus first phase picks Enchantress. This was one of the heroes that they first phase banned in the previous game. And we got Nouns going for the Clockwork. That was surprisingly ignored in the previous game, but is still very strong.
Like in the second phase?
Nope.
Am I wrong?
No,
Fully ignored.
completely ignored.
I actually thought that was okay.
That could have been a better variation, though. If you go for like Beast with Hoodwink and a Clockwork, that's some fight. That's some exploration on the map. So I think fundamentally the previous game, they just blundered on the Naga pick. This time around, they're not caring about it so far. They picked up the Clockwork. Clockwork of Zench, both aggressive, nothing too crazy, sets up for future picks. And Avulus now go for the Mars ban. Will they aim towards banning Gunner again, though? That's the question I'd like to see answered.
Well, will they aim to ban out, Sniper?
If you want to ban out Gunner, like you need to ban out a lot of heroes right now from the offlane. Instead, I feel like when you see Clock, you're thinking SF, you're thinking Luna. At the moment, these heroes are paired with him the most, so they get rid of what they believe is the strongest in the form of Luna. Clockwork as well, he shuts down a lot of carries. I feel like he doesn't necessarily solo shut them down, but it feels worse to play like something like an SF that doesn't want to buy a BKB early on. It feels worse playing into him. So maybe that's something that Avulus doesn't even have to ban or worry about.
Well, Nouns is going for their ban into pick next. And they already obviously started very differently from previous game. But I do want to point out that Beastmaster that they played previous game is still in the pool. He didn't have the best of lanes, but he had massive stacks that he was able to catch up with. Just didn't make a lot of moves with it in the end. But they'll go for Pango.
Yeah, they continue. Very stock standard for them. If you remember the Meepo game, they had the Pango on the offlane with the Diffusal. And that also is a pick that already sets them up for a bit of an easier game into a Medusa. Natural-born Diffusal builder, so not the worst laner into her as well.
No, decent lane, comfort. And that Meepo is, of course, something to have on your radar. Yeah, and I think especially with Nouns having overall last pick, I'm sure that Avulus is aware of it, and if that option is still there, I hope that they are going to ban it. I would imagine it's on their radar.
Yeah, it depends on how Nouns want to approach this phase of the draft. They're going to have to double pick their, a core and another support, utilizing the last pick in the entire draft. So if they want to use like a Meepo, for example, or a Sven, it will have to be ultimate last pick, so someone will have to sacrifice.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind just Alchemist Willow, or there's not a lot of heroes that can be, or at least carry heroes that can be picked, and you're fine not seeing matchups, right? Like Luna's one of those heroes, Monkey King's one of those heroes, Alk is as well. There's not a lot of carries that really can be put in that position. I guess Gyrocopter as well, but we'll see if Nouns want to keep the Pango flex alive by locking in their carry early.
They go with the Dragonite. I'm not sure if this is locking in the carry early. It could be. It probably is. It's still flexible. Like you can lane in mid or safe lane. Most of the time it is safe. We see this gentleman on the camera. Like he can definitely play the Dragonite.
I'd like to see it carry myself. They're doing the same. Okay, I don't mind it in the way that Avulus is using Sniper for the draft, but I feel like when you're flexing Sniper, it should always be 90% mid and I really need to put it support because there's a better mid available. Like that's how I see the flex rather than like a 50-50. And in this game now, it's like DK carry doesn't care about late game Pango and Clock. You eventually get like SMY, you get BKB, you stand your ground. If Sniper goes to mid lane, Sniper can pressure the Pango there, so it forces the flex on Nouns.
They're really pushing with the win rate heroes, like 27% on DK. Sniper now has a bit more than 35 that he had in the last game.
Mad.
But some people have done some weird builds on DK. Like sometimes they've gone for Blink as a carry when they didn't need to.
40%.
I think that this game, however, even going for a Blink or something like that is completely justified on DK. Like if the Sniper is a core. If the Sniper is a core, I think it's fine.
Again, it depends. And there's the arc that I was mentioning. You just need to... There's only a handful of carries that have this draft advantage, and here it is. But again, to pair it,
I love the combo, by the way, between usually you don't like Clock with the melee core on position 1.
If
the Clock is... But yeah, with the Alchemist, it's pretty damn nice.
And
you keep them in the cogs, it's solid.
Is it still... Alchemist could be put mid, and the Pango could be put off lane, and they can still go for Meepo.
I'm sure. I don't know when Cinderin wants to put on his headset, but if he's listening now, Alk loves to farm.
Yeah, he does.
So it kind of does fit the bill of the whole narrative of game 1.
I thought you were going to say it's an Alchemist game.
Yeah.
Surely they get more than 5 kills when they got the Doctor.
Witch Doctor coming out. You know what? I was expecting a lot more Witch Doctor coming out, but this is only the 3rd one.
Yeah, it's a good way to answer heroes such as Dragonite, right? Like it always was. Kasky isn't that bad into Enchantress too. Like your ward works really nicely into both of these, but of course, one of the main reasons is the Maledict. It just feels very nice into these heroes.
You farm well, you push well. I'm surprised that we don't see the hero that much. Again, having an unreliable stun from your support can hurt you a bit because you have to rely on your cask hitting correctly, but with these laning setups, if Clock's a 4 and Witch Doctor's a 5, there's kill potential everywhere. I'm expecting him to go for the Headhunter facet, which allows your cast to do more damage on each bounce. The Voodoo Festeration, which was the heal becomes damage, that fell off quite a lot because of a lot of different nerfs.
Wait, does he have 3? He has a 3rd one.
He does, and he has
right?
Cleft Death, which is the his ult does split damage, which is fine once you get Aghanims, because it actually does a lot more damage when you have Aghs. The issue is you can't expect your 5 to have that. So.
Yeah, he might not be 5 though. He can be a 4 as well. Like if you were going.
He's probably going to be a 4, right? Because there's a Clockwork that normally is.
No, usually if you have these 2 5-ish kind of heroes, Clockwork takes the priority and he plays the 4. Basically, you can argue for both of them to be decent into these heroes that control units. Like Clockwork's Battery Assault. I'm not sure even how long ago, but it got buffed versus summons and whatnot, so it's stronger versus units that Enchantress and Bristle are bringing to the table. But probably at this point with the Beastmaster, you'd like it on that safe lane, right? Like you cover up the Alchemist a little bit, the Cask against the Boars as well is nice.
Yeah, and for Avulus, there is a world where Sniper going to support, Witch Doctor steps up to be aggressive. You have to be careful there. If you're walking into double shrapnels with the Beastmaster, you can easily die, and that lane can be very volatile. So now you need to be wary that if it is sniper support, lane isn't just simple as hit Manood, get kills. There's going to be a little bit of back and forth between the two. But if sniper is into mid lane to try and beat out the Pangolier, because you'll just farm quite nicely.
I feel like that lane, if it's Beastmaster and Sniper, if they're going on Sniper, it's bad. If they're constantly going on Beastmaster, I feel like they have what it takes to kill him. The two of them from level 3, even through all the shrapnel, like you said, volatile. Kills are going to happen.
I guess also,
it's not going to be 10 kills minute 27.
That's hopeful.
We're talking about Maledict, but obviously Witchhunter can be played very defensive, where you get like 1 point in Maledict for the right clicks, and then you could put 2 points in heal. So it could be a world where they're expecting snipers to go support. They want a heal in the lane for out to farm. So rather than trying to be aggressive, it's just stand on the tower, have your voodoo running, keep healing, eat through the couple shrapnels, and then get them back up healthy. Because, sniper without shrapnels, not the strongest. But
yeah, and one of the problems that Sniper is bringing to the game is once he uses those shrapnels, he kind of feels a bit weak until the cooldowns are back up.
It's a pretty long cooldown, yeah.
It's a pretty long cooldown, and there's a caveat as well. Like, you don't want one shrapnel. You want two of them to be
greedy,
able to... I mean, you just want all of them to be able to make plays on your own, at least. But now they continue with... stock standard Avulus drafting. Viper is something that they have picked for Stormer before. He enjoys ruining people's lives, and he's going to probably get to do that with the Viper.
Yeah,
does he do well against Pango in mid? If Pango goes mid, or would you rather put Pango on the offlane and pick a new mid?
You kind of need to put Pango into the offlane if you want it to be relatively active on the map. If you put it mid against Viper, you're waiting for a rotation or a rune or
I love the
level
Prophet
6.
ban, by the way. It made all the sense with the Viper pick. Like one of those heroes that can actually deal with the Viper. I'm trying to think what else is available here for Nouns.
For the mid lane?
Yeah, for the Viper. Usually you'd like to outrange him and stuff, but...
His current hero pool from Valahia does not deal with Viper at all. So he's going to have to pick, I believe, a different hero to his current standard. But
yeah, the Sniper is taken away from you. The Prophet is banned. Storm, you don't want to pick, even if it was in the pool.
I think we've seen at least one Lina mid this game.
You could technically, if you want to sacrifice the lane, you go Primal and just play behind the tower, right? Like, you can just try and pick heroes that just ditch the lane fully.
I see a lot of smiles coming out, so that's a tinker.
Oh my golly gosh. Wait, is it a Stormer ting? No. Oh, it's a copy. Sorry, it's not about. I misspoke. I mean, yeah, it's fine. Copy tinker?
I do that all the time.
Oh, it was picked once before, by the way. 100%
What, in the mid lane? Again, so we've forgotten about what mid tinker is about because, support reigns supreme, but mid tinker, it's about farming Arcane Blink, getting 18, constantly being annoying. So, sure. I mean, this is going to be... technically, again, for Cinderin, it could just be a lot of farm. Tinker loves to farm, Ant loves to farm.
Well, on the side of Nouns, yes. But surely Avulus is going to be more active than last game.
On paper, they should be, but one problem that you have against this Tinker is you don't have two mobile heroes. Too many mobile heroes, that is. Like, you have this Dragonite that might buy a Blink together with Beastmaster. Yep. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but you need to hunt this Tinker before he becomes... I don't even know what he's going to be itemizing in exactly. Is he going full utility like Tinkers were doing from support, or is he going some Shivas and stuff?
I kind of like the idea of him maybe finding like a middle ground. Again, I have no idea what mid Tinkers buy because supports are doing everything, but I've seen offlane Tinkers and they still go for Greaves, Blink, some Aura, they pump up someone, and that could be the game here. You have your mid Tinker, he buffs up the carry Alchemist at 20 minutes. It's a lot of auras, everything on Alch. Again, I'm hoping that we see a new version of Tinker because we've only seen it support, but Avulus, strong lanes. Sniper, Beastmaster, strong lane. Viper, strong lane.
Is there a chance that the Sniper goes for the normal shrapnel, the old shrapnel, so that you can get loads of vision so that the Tinker can't hide?
You can do that, but then you're ruining your lanes, basically. Yeah. You're ruining the performance with the Beastmaster and Beastmaster's lanes, so you probably don't want to do that. I don't know. Nouns, they've already surprised all of us with the Meepo pick. This time around, they're getting something extra, something new once again.
Again, quickly checking pubs. Some high MMR players are going for like Ags and Dagon and big explosive stuff from Tinker. So again, no idea. Let's see what he does on Tinker.
Let's see what he does, and let's see what Mag thinks about this draft.
Absolutely. Now, Mag, I am here with you, of course. You took quite some time coming out of that booth. Had a discussion with your team, perhaps. Maybe that Tinker, a little worrisome. What are you thinking going in?
I mean, of course, we surprised about the hero, but we still focus on our game, how we want to execute our draft. I think we just put them not in the best situation during the draft, so it was hard for them to find an answer. But yes, I hope that this game will be a bit still like faster compared to the first one, and that we will see a bit more kills.
I would hope so. With a Viper and your sniper now, a very aggressive draft. Do you guys think you'll be able to bring that aggression a little bit more than your last one? Because that took quite some time. Was that more from you guys or from them?
I think from both sides. Our draft was not allowing us to play that much aggressive. But I can only say that last game we executed well on what we got. Like we got the idea like how to win. But this game, it's a lot about, as you mentioned, like aggression. So let's see how we're gonna manage to have some advantage from laning stage.
Absolutely. Well, we do hope that we see an improvement from last game for all of our sakes. Let's go ahead and get into game 2 and see that action.
Thank you so much, Slacks. Yes, indeed, Synderen. I feel like we went through something together, and it's an impenetrable bond.
I will never forget this day and this game we just witnessed. But there's a new game. And that one is arguably, I was going to say equally interesting, which would be an exceptional disservice to this one. So let's say this game is really interesting.
Yes.
Okay, let's instead of equally.
What's crazy about this too is we were watching the panel do their stuff, and you said Tinker. You said it after they picked Tinker.
Wow.
But you thought about it earlier than that.
Right. So what I will say is I was thinking to myself, the Viper matchup, this is probably something that Copy used to play Tinker against, and I was just thinking, I know this is like his best hero.
Yeah.
I know this was the hero that he used to spam in pubs and play a ton, and I was just thinking to myself, man, back in the day, Copy would have played Tinker this game. And he still will, apparently, even with the changes. We haven't seen very much core Tinker for a while. I think we've seen 1 or 2 teams try it in the last couple of months, but almost always this has been played as position 4 with his new kit with defense matrix and no longer having the heat-seeking missiles. But you can still play it core, and I'm very, very curious to see what Copy's going to do with it here. So that for me is definitely the hero to watch. And also it kind of tells a story of how Nouns are going to try to approach this game, right? Like they're identifying, okay, Viper mid is good against Copy's hero pool. We don't really have the best solutions left, but we can dig deep, find this Tinker. He will be able to do okay in lane. And then he will, hopefully for them, be able to slow down the aggression. This hero is very strong defensively. March of the Machines, defense matrix. You're trying to push towers. It's hard to break through. And in the meantime, Alchemist is farming. Yeah. So it makes sense thematically what they're trying to do with the hero. But yeah, let's see the execution. So far, so good for Nouns with the first blood, of course.
Right. Well, and the other thing that's going to be interesting that might not ever come into play, but I hope it does, is if Fly ever gets a Maledict off and then Tinker TPs in like either Dagon or Laser, that just sounds cool. You just know somebody's getting bursted open. One thing I do want to see is how well Gunnar does in this lane. We've seen some of the off-lane Pangos take the double jump as Stormstormer, very low, but not dead yet. He decided to take the Thunderbolt on the Pangolier. So opting for that style of play instead might make his laning stage a little tougher.
Yeah, it was the same thing that Amar did in his offlane Pango game that we just had. That was the game they lost, I believe. Not that those two are directly related or anything, but yeah, we've seen both versions from offlane Pango. I think the mid Pangos we've seen in this tournament have only taken Thunderbolt, so it seems there's a bit more room for variation in the offlane position. And yeah, it's a matter of what do you think is more important? Is it that little bit more laning prowess, or is it the big picture of the Thunderbolt is just going to be too good for team fights later on? And they appreciate the Thunderbolt here. I think it's the right choice as well, just thinking about how Avulus's strategy is going to work. You heard from Coach Mag's interview that they want to play faster than last game, and he really hopes his team does that because it feels like the right way to approach this one.
Yeah.
So having Thunderbolt when those big fights or big pushes come in that Avulus are likely to go for will be really, really valuable.
I also feel like on the side of Nouns, like, just based upon their draft, take the Tinker out of it, all the rest of these heroes, you want to run at them, right? You want to roll in with Pango. You want to jump in with Clockwork. You want to make these fights happen. As Eki is going to take a stun to the face, a couple more punches coming from Fly, and he is down. Yuma actually manages to get that last hit, doesn't leave it over for Fly there. It feels like this is wanting to be a reset game for them, because they can't have been happy with how that last game went. Like, even if they won, I don't think they'd be happy with the way that that game went.
I don't know. Winning can... winning's number one, man. Like,
That's fair.
I know what you're saying, though. I actually do agree. So yeah, forget it.
Great. You just gave up after the last
Now
game.
the question for me is, are Avulus happy with the last game as well? Because, like, yeah, they won. You heard from Mag, he felt like our draft, we had to play slow, and they weren't really doing much either. I guess from Avulus' perspective, there wasn't really much that could have gone better. You know, it was a pretty clean game. You didn't really lose any heroes. You did some good invasions on Ancients. You farmed your stuff. You played together. You got the Roach, and you ended. So... I guess they were pretty happy with it overall.
True. No, absolutely. I mean, I think as far as, like, it's rare that you see a plan completely come together in a Dota game. Like, just flawless execution. But that's basically what it was. And, you know, as we mentioned many times, the situation where the teams just had different ideas of what was good as Zibe gets hit by that Maledict, but don't know if it's going to be enough. Instead, Fly is going to be the one that goes down. Eki, another round of stuns coming out from Yuma as he tries to find himself a quick little hit onto this sniper man. Needs another punch, needs one more. Is he going for it? The Eagle.
Oh, that's greedy.
Oh, that one hurts.
It makes sense for the hero, but it does not make sense for the game.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately, you could see what Yuma was trying to go for there with Fly with that attempt, but the Beastmaster was very fast there. Zippe was fast to back off to the right, and that meant that when the concoction connected, Witch Doctor was nowhere near. So they didn't really get any value out of the Maledict, except just the Maledict itself and one hit from the Witch Doctor. And Zippe was going to survive that. So they had to pivot, and yeah, you just saw the trade-offs come through with the sniper. So very good news there for Avulus.
Lelis right now is level 2 on this Clockwork.
That's not much.
True. His Gunner is 5.
Let's hope for him that he gets a Wisdom rune.
That's what I was just thinking about there.
Yeah. He's given a lot of XP to Gunner. Like, him almost being 6 on Pango is obviously great, but
yeah,
comes at the expense of the clock. This hero does need levels more so than many other supports, I would say, to really function. At least it needs to reach a certain point. Oh, they're diving in on Gunner. Big damage.
They got him there for a moment. In the meantime, Fly has to back away from the Wisdom Rune, and Lelis is there to pick his up.
I'm surprised they didn't pursue that a bit more. Like, really force him out. But, I mean, ultimately they did make him cast both his spells, so I guess job well done either way.
Glyphing this wave, trying to put extra pressure on it. Not level 6 yet for Smiling Knight on this DK. The Snako is going to pop the heal, forced to play something other than Phoenix, and now throws out a stun, but Fly moves in. A great hit pushback, and a couple tower shots along with Lelis means it's good damage in on to Smiling Knight. But he is so freaking tanky on this DK.
Close. 59.
60. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, gotta get it right.
Not bad.
Not quite enough. Yeah, mid lane. Haven't touched upon it for a hot minute here, but Tinker's doing great. He's up by almost 1,000 against Stormstormer. Copy's just pushing out the waves with the March of the Machines, and then he's farming his hard camp as well.
Oh.
That's a very good Clockwork.
Gets the Maledict down on Stormstormer. Gunner a little bit off the mark with his driving. Will have damage reduction here on the Viper. And so they will not be able to have enough damage to take down that Viper.
Copy. Time to farm some stacks. This is a big part of what makes support Tinker so strong, is his ability to farm both lanes as well as jungle. Even played as a support, almost no supports can do this Ancient stack. And And then you use your resources, you port back to base, you reset, come right back. Oh, he dropped the tier 1 token though, so Neiko's going to see it. Yoink!
Yeah, that's frustrating. They also
and they get another one of their own. Wow. And they steal the rest of the stack. So yeah, that did not go great. Well, Tinker is capable, but he does generally need 2 volleys of spells, or 2 rounds of spells rather, when you're this early in.
It's a lot of couriers killed right now by Eki. 9 minutes. And the game feeling a little bit awkward at this stage. Avulus making the move over. Can run at Fly if they feel so inclined, and immediately onto him with the TP boots, and, well, gets a good headhunter off, but there won't be anything after that.
Yeah, so something that's different about the mid Tinker here is copy is going 4-4-0 by the looks of it. When you play support Tinker, you either see 1-4-4 or sometimes even 0-4-4 if the laser is not good enough. Doesn't have the defense matrix, so when his teammates get jumped in the tower, he doesn't offer the defense that you'd usually see from the support Tinker. And also, when you play core Tinker, you generally take the translocator facet instead of the repair bots, so the March of the Machines also doesn't heal. So he doesn't really offer his teammates much until he's farmed. Like, this is a sponge right now. Tinker doesn't make moves. He defends and he farms for a while, and then he gets big, and then all of a sudden he can just reach critical mass and be insane. But it takes time. It's a very slow build-up. You're playing that together with Alk. This would be insanely greedy 5 years ago, this hero pairing. But so far, Nouns are kind of making it work, as long as they don't lose too many towers. Unfortunately for Copy, though, well, there's that translocator helping out.
And the headhunter, they run into the March of the Machines.
Great.
Wow.
Stormstormer is
dead. Eki
yeah, he's
going to
dead.
go down too.
What?
Whoa.
Oh, raindrop.
Oh, man.
Okay, it got ready again for the last pulse. Gunnar was trying to find it, but it wasn't successful. But still, they get 2 kills. They defend their tower.
And that shows that March of the Machines, when left unabated, will really rip through those heroes.
It does a ton of damage. You can't just run through this and tank it this early in the game and expect a good fight. And you combine it with Maledict, people just die.
Yeah.
So that was a good defensive play there for Nouns. Not only do they protect their Tinker, they also defend the tower. And this is something we didn't talk about, but how much do you think Avulus's players have played against core Tinker recently?
Yeah, not much.
It genuinely, so the way Translocator works is that when if you have a defense matrix on yourself and it expires, you blink forward 350 range. It's not necessarily a straight line, but it's the general trajectory. So if people are trying to dive you in your tower, you have like a guaranteed mini blink, basically.
Right.
And that's what happened there. He got level 1 defense matrix at the perfect time. Without that there, he actually dies, I think. So opting not to go 4-4-0, but 3-4-1 kept him alive. So that worked out.
More stacks being made, and I thought that was Fly with 1 component of an Aghanim Scepter done, but that is not true. Does have his Gree gold working. It's Copy that is now going to have 2 components done.
Copy did go for the March of the Machines talent here.
Oh, interesting.
Because both level, I feel like both level 10 options are actually very good for core Tinker. Mana cost reduction is insane. This hero is all about spamming your spells and sustaining. But he values that extra second of March more so than the overall efficiency increase for the rest of the game. Well,
Zibe,
let's see.
Going for the Helm of the Overlord. Has not. He has the Helm locked right now, though.
Oh my god, Yuma's getting so much gold here.
Yeah.
These are 2, I believe this is 2 basically triple stacks. He has the Radiance already. Lilith, nice cog pushback.
Level 6, and Seneko going down. So good space created right now. Nouns a slight lead, but it does feel like they're hitting the point where it's going to start ramping up.
Yeah, Seneko just drew a half circle under the bottom tier 1 tower. He's like, guys, maybe we should do something.
Maybe.
And they are going to. They will smoke up. They have their Helm of the Overlord on Zibe. He's pretty damn farmed on the Beastmaster. Highest on their team by far, as a matter of fact. We'll be joined by Stormstormer with the Boots of Travel. And it looks like Nouns are anticipating this play and just going to ignore it. Let them have the tower. This is too difficult to defend. The Tinker is going to be more focused around defending his mid-tier 1 and all the tier 2s. And I think it's the right call. I think you're playing against this lineup that is very, very strong right now on the side of Avulus. If you can avoid them and it doesn't feel extremely grief with what you're losing, it's all right. You're progressing. You're getting what you need. Tinker needs more time. Alk needs more time. So just keep buying it.
Maybe he's trying to get
involved with the
right
haste.
now. Finds Eki.
He's cooked.
A nice little move in here will set up for an easy pickoff. Even under all this vision.
Yeah, he found the one angle that they didn't have dire vision in, coming in from the north, and then with the haste rune, there's obviously nothing that he can do there.
Are they hunting down Zippe here? Seems like a kind of bold move. I don't think that's actually the play. Instead, they're going to try and defend this tier 1 tower mid with Copy, who will spam out, march the machines, and tower will live a little bit longer. 11 kills.
Yeah.
This was much later in the game when we got this last time around.
Last game we had 16.
Okay.
Right? It was 11 to 5, I think?
Sure.
I think so.
Gunner. Hitting building. Will Spirit Vessel himself up, and they're going to take this tower. Maybe an opportunity here. Zippe. Jump forward, Blink finds him. Can't really go for it. Just want to get him out of their jungle. Zippe goes in for the pipe, which is amazing value in this game.
Yeah, for sure, but it has to be put to use before it's too late. I'll get the mid tower here. Now it's not going to look to defend it. Copy has reached a really major breaking point for his hero. He got level 12, now he's 13. But level 12 allows you to start TPing on creeps, so you can push and farm way more efficiently. This is going to continue ramping him up. He's now got the Axe, so that upgrades his laser to the Shrink Ray. It bounces, it does more damage, reduces max health. And against tanky heroes like Dragon Knight and Beastmaster, this can very quickly add up over the course of a fight if you're not countered out. So I wonder what approach Avulus... Okay, hang on. Suneko caught, Vesselt, and dead. Easy pick. I wonder what Avulus are going to itemize to try to solve the Tinker problem. Because if they're just going to let Copy free farm like this and not gank him a single time except the one attempt they did mid, he's going to approach, you know, Aether Lens, Arcane Blink. Alright. Seems to be Nouns that are a little bit more aggressive this game overall.
Yeah.
A good change to see.
Definitely. And again, Copy, at this point, they don't really have great answers for him. We'll see a roll-up and the Thunder from Gunner as he heads away. So no real chance for a kill there as Witch Doctor is dying to the Mud Golem. And Chant take over another one. And another little window where we're dodging these fights, it looks like.
I'm really trying to think of what Dire does against Tinker with their items. And I know I'm talking so much about Tinker. There's still an Alchemist problem.
Yeah.
There's a Pangolier that's going to cause a ton of disruption, but he is the special hero of the game that was the overall last pick. That's a very unusually run hero. And usually the way you deal with Tinker late game is you get on top of him, you have some sort of silent stun combination, you just kill him off 100 to 0 and don't let him reset. But the defensive line that he has and the types of heroes that Avulus have, it's really difficult to think about, like, I guess Dragon Knight with the Blink plus... I mean, he can't kill him alone, though.
No.
So what's the follow-up going to be? You have a little bit of a support assassinate. Maybe DK and Viper get blinks and you just pile on him or something.
They have Blink on Beast.
It feels a little bit, yeah. Maybe Beast, DK together. They both have their blinks now.
I mean, the tough thing is that also with Defense Matrix, you're getting status resistance too.
And it's only going to become more in a moment, unless he takes the laser damage. Let's see what his 15 talent is. Both options are, or excuse me, it's the barrier. Level 20 is the increased status resist.
Okay.
I'm assuming he takes the laser damage, but let's see.
Yeah, goes so for it.
The Matrix barrier is good too. They're both really nice talents. Stormstormer. This is another item that can help you against the Tinker. We'll be going for the Mage Slayer on the Viper.
Does depend upon the idea that you can actually hit the Tinker, though. Which
Yes.
I'm not convinced is going to happen the way that this game has been moving so far.
No, now that he's getting his Aether Lens, it gets a lot more difficult.
And have not seen any big moves to try and gank or slow down the farm. Yuma now with Blink BKB Radiance going into a Yasha. Stormstormer pushed back by the Cogs. Lelis with the battery assault can go for a TP out, or he can just keep shoving down this way and get away from Stormstormer. There are some pings. They think that he goes down, but Lelis is actually just going to farm out this hard camp right here.
Uh-oh.
Stormstormer spots him.
Good TP. That's fine.
Does force out the Lotus.
Yeah, I don't even know if he needed to do that. I think the stick might have cut it, but he lives.
Meanwhile, they're going in for the Tormentor. Yuma anticipating this, jumps forward, throws the stun out. A counter stun coming from Smiling Knight, and Zibe is just dead.
Abort. Jetpack for Lelis. Tinker loves vision.
True.
Jetpack. Clockwork will skill Rocket Flare on a level 11. Pretty unusual, by the way. This 440 plus talent before you get a single point in the rocket, but hasn't really needed it. But the more vision Tinker has, the easier it will be for him to ultimately use all of his items. Later down the line, he's going to have a Dagon, he's going to have maybe a Hex, and he just needs to constantly be fed information by his teammates of where he can stand and when he can cast his spells, and then he can hard carry fights.
You know, I'm not going to lie. There's some shades of last game in this game.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling it.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Shades of gray.
But the thing that's important about this game in comparison to the last one is that the teams have already experienced it, so now surely they will adapt.
True.
Smiling Knight has Aegis.
He's dead one
Loses
time.
for free.
Zibe roars the Witch Doctor. Oh, hooked up. He's hooking up with him. Fly still dies. And now stunned on Alchemist. Meanwhile, the Shrink Ray throwing it out. Honey, I Shrunk the Viper as Zibe stunned. Gunner runs. Broken. TP out.
Oh, a bit
Doesn't
too late
happen.
on it. Okay, Avulus put their Aegis to relatively good use here, after all. It looked like Smiling Knight died for naught, but they get the Roar on the Witch Doctor. It was a nice attempt with the hookup save, but unfortunately for Lelis, he's not the one with the Force Staff. That is Witch Doctor himself, and he was obviously stunned, so couldn't reposition in time. Force out the Glyph, and that's probably going to be the end of this push, but it's something.
9-6 at 22 minutes. And Avulus, content with what they got out of that Aegis, does beg the question, what happens on the next round? Can they afford, or rather get another Aegis for free? I do like this Nullifier pickup that we're seeing from DK, though. With all of these barriers that we're going to be seeing in this game,
yeah,
it's a good pick.
It's one of the best items against Tinker. Also because he can somewhat rely on not just the barriers, but also getting Force Staffed. Sometimes Tinker himself will buy it, especially if you play it as support. It's just, you need to remove utility effectively, and that's the best item at doing it in the game. And he's kind of close to it too.
All right, ready to go. Game back underway now. So we do hit 2-2-2-2. Love that one. The times we spent together. And a 3,000 gold lead.
In strength is victory.
So Cinderin,
Yeah.
you think that they're going to try and take this Tormentor?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I really do.
That's sick.
And I think they'll do it.
It's pretty cool.
Suneko.
Oh,
Well, he's gonna... All right. He watched Nightfall's replays and backed off.
perfect.
Very good. Here
Jumps
comes
in.
Yuma. Zippy.
Hook-shotting the creep as Zippe is going to go.
Okay, they were very confident that Zippy was here alone. Obviously, they have the ward, so they were just looking for collateral onto the little bit of zoo here.
Give me that creep. They got him
Okay.
caught in the cogs. Look at him. He's getting smaller. The shrink ray. He's so tiny.
Such a tiny little shaman.
Tiny shaman.
Oh, no.
Goodbye, shaman.
Well,
Sounded like your mom was here.
got him. Copy now level 18, so now we can travel on teammates.
Also has the arcane blink.
Yep. Worth keeping in mind about the new Tinker, if you guys haven't seen this version of the hero, he's very different than he used to be. It's not just his skills, but when you rearm, you don't rearm your inventory. You only rearm your spells. However, your innate is that all inventory items you have lower cooldown up to a maximum of 60%, scaling with your int.
Okay.
And he's currently sitting at 44, so his arcane blink cooldown is 5 seconds. So he can't use it constantly like the old Tinker where we would just rearm blink. But the cooldown's still pretty damn short, and it will get shorter as he gets more int.
And gets the arcane rune.
And you can see now Copy will be opting for a BKB, the ultimate defensive item for Tinker. It protects your defense matrix. It protects you against the nullifier. Swan Knight trying to find him here, unsuccessful. They would really love to get a kill on the Tinker. It would even open them up to get racks, actually, if they were to find that, but Copy will not get caught.
Good blink out by Yuma. Not going to get caught there and ready for a second turnaround. Lelis is in on top of Stormstormer. 4-stack. Keeps him away. Eki off to the side, punching Lelis in the face. Smiling Knight now finds Yuma. Tinker is in on this battle too, and Stormstormer going to be dead. They can find more here, though, as the Shrink Race battles start coming out. Smiling Knight has to walk away from this one.
Yeah. Too difficult. You already lost your mid. You don't have any control in this fight. You're not in any position to fight. If Avulus wants to find a successful move, it has to come through a smoke where you ideally jump the backline, and of course Tinker is the grand prize, but Copy's done a very good job of not being accessible. He's currently sitting at 2-0-3. But if you can't find the Tinker, you need to find the Clockwork and the Witch Doctor and just roar one of them, kill them off, try to get the second one, and then build a fight that way. But yeah, as long as Nouns maintain good formation, they have good vision, and they are the ones applying the pressure, it is difficult for Avulus to find the right approach into these fights.
I'm feeling like this Tinker is much stronger looking than I thought it was going to be. I mean, maybe it's, again, just the last pick nature of it, but, like, Copy is making this look really good.
He is incredibly good at this hero, so he will look extra good in good games for the hero, and this is one of them. There aren't many good mid-Tinker games, to be fair. And something we've talked about in one of our previous casts some days ago is that I personally feel in Dota that every hero is good sometimes, like all of them. And some heroes are very rarely good, especially in the recent patch. At TI, there were like many heroes unpicked. And I do think some of them are harder and harder to pick because of new facets and whatnot, where other heroes just got way more love. But it's not just that this is a good Tinker game, you also need to identify it, right? That's the second part of it is, okay, first of all, it's a good hero. Secondly, do you get the idea? And then third, do you have someone who can play it? And Nouns tick all three boxes in this game, which is pretty rare, because if you go back and check through all the drafts of this tournament, there's probably like a handful of games where mid-Tinker could have maybe been good, but the other teams don't play it, or they don't even, it's not even on the radar, so we don't get to see it. Well, this one's definitely a good one.
And it makes me wonder if going forward also, even regardless of the outcome of this game, if we're going to start seeing mid-Tinker more often because of that identification factor, this puts it back on people's minds.
Potentially. At least against Nouns, it's something you have to consider because of the player. But also, given the pace of this series so far, both game 1 and 2, what a dream hero when nothing has happened, you know? Like, just farm up a storm, become a complete monster. You even have the... You're arguably, you know, going to get refunded your axe later by Alk, too, you know? It's nice and easy for Copy.
First pick it next game. Let's do it.
Radiant are scanning.
So,
Probably
up.
not. I would not advise that. That's not really where we're at.
Smoked up. Lelis runs in. Hello, hello. Now you're in the pain train. How's it feel? Stormer gone. They find a Tinker, though. They're onto him. Save the Tinker. It's not going to happen. Oh, no. And now, how badly does the rest of this go? Zibbe's BKB wears off. So, mid's dead. Everybody else alive.
Yeah. Fly also bought back, though. So it's a 2-for-1. And you got the bigger kill because Tinker is way richer than the Viper. And yeah, this is what they got to do. You got to jump him, pile all your stuff onto him, and just kill him during the roar. They were successful that time. I wonder, so currently Copy is eyeing up an Octarine. I wonder if he's going to switch this to a Lincoln's.
Ooh.
Just so he can cover his bases against the BM. It feels really, really hard for Avulus to kill him without roar. We'll see.
Yeah, they don't have
Get the Aegis.
a ton that's like super easy Lincoln's break without committing pretty hard. But I guess that they do have the DK stun too. We'll see. But maybe that time is all you need is Tinker to blink out or something else.
It really depends on the type of situation, but yeah, if you are able to, how to say, if Tinker exposes himself and you don't connect immediately and he gets the blink reset and you've already blinked in toward him, you just compromise your fight, right? You're out of position all of a sudden instead of jumping and getting a really good one. And that's where Lincolns can really come in handy. Eki, he is very dead.
Zibbe, they jump in, they roar him. A big opening and the BKB is out, but they do not have a way to stop it. And now they will TP out on the Alk, but a huge catch as back-to-back deaths on Copy.
He is still not changing his quick buy, but yeah, credit to Avulus. They're kind of baiting it. You know, somebody gets jumped. If Tinker joins, it's just, okay, DK and Beastmaster neuron activation, you know? Like, see Tinker, I'm in there.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward. It's a very clear strategy, and it's also good to see because it shows that they have discussed and have a shared understanding of what the right approach is to win the game. Like it's very simple to execute when it's presented for you. So as Copy, you can't present them the option because they're going to do this every time. Like they're so ready. Another tower. All right, Avulus. It was starting to look quite bad for them, but now only 2k down, a couple of Tinker kills, a stolen Tormentor. Stormstormer gets the shard. So nice for pushing eventually.
I can't help but notice that when Nouns are doing things, it does end up running into some issues. Maybe they were right game number 1.
Yeah, you're right. They need to wait for minute 25.
Yeah, probably.
It's true. It has backfired. But the thing is, so if you're Nouns, you can also approach the fights differently, right? Because the way they're doing it is they go on this sniper. Well, let's see. This time they go on the sniper, actually, ironically, and they'll kill him. But imagine the type of circumstances that we've just had those fights where Clockwork hook shots in, and then Clock and Alk can probably kill the guy, right? I don't know if Tinker needs to get involved, and if he does, he needs to travel in on Alk, laser, and then blink far behind. Yes. He needs to never be visible for more than a second, if even. So it needs to be very fast and then a clear disengage. Copy's aggression, in my opinion, again, will come more if he gets a Lincoln's, but still doesn't seem to be the plan here.
Sort of like a Storm almost he needs to play it, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. That's a relatively good comparison. He's kind of like a ranged Storm that needs to just all the time stay out of the range of stuns. Okay. How long's left on the Aegis? 2 minutes. Smiling Knight also has a shield rune. He is stupid tanky right now.
Very hard to deal with.
And Stormstormer is working on a Scotty to help them against the Alk.
Oh, and Alk also just finished Overwhelming Blink.
Yep.
So a lot of big items coming out together now.
Is this the type of game? It probably is, where we look at how many good ags Alk can give, because this does not look like it's ending anytime soon.
He's already queuing them up.
Yeah, so the first one he's going to give is probably the Clockwork, I guess. Getting all the vision from the rocket flares for Tinker is amazing. They Roar Gunner, he's dead. Probably, maybe.
Rolling.
Surely, maybe, yes, no, okay.
Ooh.
All right, you got up. Tanky with the pipe and the Vanguard, so not enough.
Go fight, no roar? Maybe? Oh, no roll, though. No roll, never mind.
Yeah. So I guess you give Axe to Clock. The Witch Doctor Axe can be interesting in the right circumstance, of course. If Fly gets a really good positioning going, it can win you a fight to have that. But it's probably at this level, the less likely Axe to have major impact. So I think he's going to give it to Clock and then maybe the Pango. Or he gives it to Tinker first.
Right.
That's also an option to unlock copy.
We were just noticing there, by the way, also the 1,000 gold Gree for Fly.
Yep.
So he could be saving up for something big there, too. Be pretty nice.
True.
DK Seneko paired together again to take the shard. Now we've got Sprank in play. And less than 1,000 gold separating these two teams.
I wonder when he's going to use the Gree.
Yeah. You can't use it while you're dead, I don't think, to get buyback.
No. But it's just, like you said, you're looking at a big item, right?
Yeah.
If he activates it now, he can buy his Glimmer, which is definitely nice for the Tinker. If he's not using it now, what is his next item going to be that he's going to activate this for? Is it going to be an Axe? Probably not, because he wants to get it from Alk.
Right.
So what's the next item here? Is it
BKB maybe? I don't know. Feels weird.
Yeah, not sure. All right, copy. Will finish his Lincolns. He swapped away from the Octarine core.
Okay.
And got his Courier killed, so he'll get it later.
Oh, that hurts.
That's a good snipe. They were crossing over to get the Wisdom Rune, and fortunately for them, met a little chicken along the way.
3 minutes, no Lincolns.
So they get Wiser, they get free dinner, and they cause issues for Copy for a while now. Hook shot.
Finds one onto him, stun immediately. Witch Doctor ultimate out. Stormer trying to run away. And Gunner still on the chase. We'll find him here, bounce back a second time now. Yuma onto this Viper, breaking the Alchemist, and now Tinker's coming in, they get the kill.
Huh.
Moving in for more, they're gonna be able to whittle down this Ancient Golem, more gold into the coffers of Nouns. By the way, Gree consumed Witch Doctor Glimmer.
Okay. Hasn't put anything in his quick buy yet, though. Let's see.
Probably just wants buyback.
Greaves. All right.
Yeah.
Don't mind that. I think it's good.
Oh, DK. Does he show? They're moving in. Smiling Knight. A little bit out too far and pops the BKB, dies immediately. No buyback on the DK. Fly now finding Zibe, going for the voodoo switcheroo. Zibe, he's a sad guy. They move on in, try and bring him down. Do they have enough to die to Maledict? It does not look like it. He takes a big hit, but not enough.
It's definitely going to be a tower for Nouns here, though. In the meantime, Copy, another luxury of the Tinker. The constant, you think about how annoying it is when Prophet Split pushes, Tinker can do it all the time.
Yeah.
There's always going to be waves pushing your way unless you catch him. So whenever the DK or the Beastmaster is dead, Copy's just going to go to the opposite side of the map and clear it out.
Broken, shooting back Smagnums, assassinates at Eki. Yuma does not have Chemical Rage right now, used his potion too. Down to half HP, no Aegis, no problem.
Keep spamming barriers on him, but
Does have the blink dodge, Lotus Orb, and now Chemical Rage is back up. He's going to take this tier 3 tower in a moment. Hook shot in, finding one. Did they get the memo that everybody else is showing up? Stormstormer in the BKB, they're still fine. Gunner killing Creep Waves top, resetting the battle. 10 seconds till DK, and that's the signal for Nouns to back out, head on towards Roche.
I wonder if there is a world. I think this is a build Eki goes basically every game. In this specific matchup between these two teams and the types of games we're getting, is there a world where he could go and turn into a core instead on the sniper? Like, I mean, not this game. He's committed, right? He bought Force Ags, but if he would have bought
Maelstrom,
yeah, would there have been enough farm on the map? Could he also have been farmed? Because it's not like Nouns aren't showing their hand with the picks, right?
True.
Like, I kind of know what type of pacing the game will have. If anyone pushes faster, it's you. Yeah, it just got me thinking. I wonder if, because we don't really see 4 snipers take that route very often, but it is obviously an option the hero has, is to become that. And ironically, other 4s that you could say are less carry types, we sometimes see by like Gleipnir, like 4 Weaver or Hoodwinks, etc. And Sniper can become that type of hero later down the line, but this game it's not going to happen. We'll see if it's enough for the side of Avulus. I have concerns about their damage late game. Yeah. It's a Dragon Knight carry and a Viper mid. Can they kill 6-slotted Alk and Tinker? We're approaching it.
Tough, for lack of a better word. Nouns make a good move, using the pressure around the map of the Tinker to force back Avulus, and that opens up Roshan. So Nouns will come on in and take this one.
I guess Avulus can, to some extent, rely on Seneko for some output.
Yeah.
He has Pike Solar, so the Eng can definitely do meaningful damage.
I mean, this is going to be a tough game for them. There's no two ways about it.
Free Axe. Alk gives it to Tinker.
Himself?
Or, wait, did he give it to himself?
Yes.
Oh, he used it on himself. You're right. Okay.
I guess because he wants to buy them for other people so he can get the bonus damage per scepter?
Probably.
Interesting. It does beg the question, if you gave the Aghanims to somebody else, could you have just ended the game with the power spike of like double Ags given away? You know what I mean?
I don't think it's that big of a game changer.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not sure. Once again, I think the Clockwork one is the best one, and he's about to buy it for him probably, but we'll see. Maybe he gives it to Pango, but considering the item build Gunner has, I think that would be a waste. So I would much rather just see it on Clock.
Well, Yuma delivering it soon. Although does still want to have buyback.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no more Radiance on Yuma. Went for the Nullifier route, still has the Talisman. And the gold to give the Ags if he feels so inclined. But at 40 minutes in, it's a pretty healthy lead by Nouns. I think if there is some type of serious misplay, people end up in the fountain, or like an overextension, heroes get left behind, or if Tinker just gets caught, it's going to be a lot of gold going back the way of Avulus.
Yeah, they're going to be able to somewhat solve their damage issues when they get the DK his crit, but that's quite a way to go there.
Yeah.
Very quiet. It is difficult for Avulus, to be fair, in this position. I think there are moments of opportunity where they could have really put pressure were earlier in the game, and they didn't really find the moments. So now they're stuck in this awkward, we kind of wait for you to push and hope we can get a good angle situation, which might be happening here. Smiling Knight doesn't fancy going on Gunner, though.
Scary. Yuma. Oh, nice stunned himself. What a reaction. Stormstormer turns, starts to hit the Clockwork. Clockwork down. They do lose Seneko for it, though. Now the rest of Avulus backs out. Disarmed. Gunner. Moves on in, can take the gem, gets hit for a moment. Another round of Lotus copy. The AoE Shrink Ray doing some pretty good work there as Smiley Knight is just completely getting torn apart. They cannot get on top of this Tinker, and now you're in a world of hurt. Lilith jumps in, maybe a bit of an overplay though there. Gunner trying to help out as well. And now with Copy showing up, it should be a couple more hits. Zipping the tiny Beastmaster doesn't have anywhere left to go.
He's so cute, and then he's dead.
Brah. Yuma starts to hit the tier 4 towers.
What an insanely clutch sequence from Gunner, by the way. The Lotus onto Yuma as he's getting Dragon Tailed, and then later he Lotused himself for another Dragon Tail. Those Lotuses are super big in these situations.
No DK 450.
I guess blocked at the second one.
Broken. Hits come in, and there's the hook shot from Lelis, pushing them back into the fountain. Wait a minute now. Lelis dieback. Roar onto Zibe. The hits keep on coming, but GG is called. Have nothing left in the tank. Nouns force us to another game number 3.
And another slow game, but faster.
Yeah.
I suppose.
More action.
I guess the game was longer than the previous one, but it didn't necessarily feel that way because there were exchanges and there was action being made across the map, but it didn't really feel like Avulus had the solutions for Tinker and Alk constantly pushing out waves, getting really farmed, and then the occasional, I feel like Lilis played a great game on the clock. I just think he found a lot of moments of opportunity. He set up his Tinker for kills, he set up his Pango for kills, he set up his Alk, and they just step by step built an advantage. And yeah, take game 2 relatively easily.
They make it work. We'll see if they can pull it together for game number 3. For Nouns, keep their upper bracket hopes alive as we head on back to the panel.
Seems like we got to keep Tinker in our minds now, too, when we're looking at the draft for our next game and for any game that Nouns is in, as that was definitely very annoying for Avulus to play into. Let's break down this game and see how it came to be that Nouns do push for a third game to the series, Lizard. Was it just all Tinker, or were there other things that you feel like you want to focus on first before we get to that?
Sniper. It wasn't all Tinker, but it definitely rescued them from that mid lane.
Yeah.
I feel that Avulus, they thought that they had them in a checkmate kind of position because of the last pick Viper. There weren't too many heroes available. They banned out all the good ones. This is one of those plays. I mean, Avulus, you have Aegis. You really have to be taking the Tormentor. You don't really see anyone on the map. Your Viper just showed himself in the base. Yeah. They made a couple of mistakes here and there, but overall, I feel like now they played this one well enough, you know, like they held their own. They had the Tinker farming up, getting the antagonists. At the same time, Alchemist as well, uncontested, farming up. And they played the game very slowly, but at the same time, that's the way they had to. Something that Lyrical said during the game was also very true. There's a shade of game number 1 in this game number 2.
This is true.
Just replace the Medusa with the Tinker, the Sniper with the Alchemist, and it's kind of the same idea.
It feels like Avulus, from the highlights, like the only way they could maybe play a little bit more active on the map, would be if the Viper went for BKB earlier. Like he went for the Hurricane Pike, he went for the Mage Slayer, and then we're watching multiple highlights where they couldn't really stand their ground. And DK, he went for, he did have a blink, he had BKB, like they had moments, but they never really seemed to overlap all the cores to be strong at the same time, which then allowed Nouns to always pick the fight. Alk would go hunt, then he'd reset. Clock would go hit a perfect hook shot again. Lelis, incredible game on the Clockwork, always looking for the big picks, finishing the game 1-4-16, but there was like a missing piece on Avulus, and it kind of comes down to, I think, Stormstormer on his Viper. Like he needs the itemize to be on the front line to keep seeking fight, and like maybe it could have been like a blink BKB or something, but it was
I love your thought process, because mine is literally the opposite. If Stormstormer went for a greedier build like a Midas or a Maelstrom or something to just farm up, I feel like ultra late game they still have some potential of defeating Nouns Esports, and then they could take the game a little bit more chill, because you're not pushing into this. I mean, yours is,
I just want BKB as a second item, not the third item that we saw, because I think there were some moments, but again, like the way you're describing it, like yes, you can outscale, but to not punish the Tinker who needs that, like the fact that in the cast we're hearing Copy's now got ultimate. Copy's now level 12. Copy's now level 18.
It's like a countdown.
And I've yet to hear the big explosive play of, oh my God, they got, I never heard any punishment hit the side of Nouns, and it is a kind of a reverse of game one. It was very enabling.
There was a moment, like we see the scoreline of Copy here, 4-2 and 11, and those two deaths were back to back, and it was at that moment where we're like, okay, Avulus, they got a way out.
Yeah, like they had 2 back-to-back kills on the Tinker, but that's only because he was kind of out of position. He would show himself.
And pre-Lincolns.
They would pretty much be roar, and they would kill him. And pre-Lincolns, of course, as well. After those 2 deaths, he just took it a little bit easier, went back to farming, got that Lincolns, and then suddenly you can't initiate that easily with the roar any longer, and he didn't die a single time afterwards.
Yeah. We also had a great, I feel like we should highlight the great Lotus Orb usage coming out from Lelis. I think he made another great case of why Clockwork is such a high value and highly successful hero currently, Tigov. This is certainly one that I'm expecting to see at least picked or banned in the Cup in the next game, which is what I'm saying this because in game 1 he got ignored.
Yeah, that was the big shocker. I think Nouns, if they picked Clockwork in game 1, would have been a completely different story, been very active, maybe even winning that game. But game 2, they do pick it up, they put it on Lelas, and he goes for the hook up, and multiple times there's even hook shotting onto teammates that were getting jumped to try and give a little bit more armor, to give a bit more life. And no, again, it's like, it feels like if you look at Nouns, like this is a hero that enables them greatly. Good laning, good fights. You can defend areas if you want to farm up. Like, it really is the hero of the tournament. So I'm hoping that, we
I love that facet, by the way. I feel like Nomad asked me about it. I said it's useless. It truly isn't. Like a hookup as well has a 9-second cooldown, so you can keep on doing it with your teammates 24/7. If someone gets going on multiple times in a row, you can provide that. It's no barrier anymore. It's armor, right? So, but it still works out very nicely.
It worked out incredibly nicely for Nouns in this game number 2 because it allowed them to stay in that upper bracket and have another shot at moving forward in our game 3. So does Avulus, though. The score is 1-1, and the deciding match will be happening after this break. Welcome back. You are watching the last game of the day with us. That's right. This is 100% the last game because it's game 3 of our final series of the day. Every series today is in the upper bracket, so nobody's going to go home after this game, but the winner will stay in the upper bracket to go up against Falcons in the next round. And then the loser of this game will go into the lower bracket to go up against Beastcoast in the first round of the lower bracket, also tomorrow. And is it going to be Avulus? Is it going to be Nouns? That's what we're going to find out. But I have a question for my analyst, because I see Avulus as the challenger. Nouns is obviously coming in as a team that also played at TI. They've been around for a very long time, and I know Avulus has not. And we talked a lot about Avulus and their style of play, Lizard, of them being active and strong in the first, 25 minutes. Why don't they draft themselves heroes that also do that? Why is, with these two teams facing each other, the result this? Relatively passive games.
I mean, they're actually drafting heroes that, at least in the second game, Avulus drafted heroes that are able to play the game fast-paced. But there was a Tinker. If you guys don't remember, Tinker is that hero that just kills the joy of playing for everyone that's playing the game. His teammates can't find farm, the enemies can't ever push because March is always there, and they just allowed it to happen. So Avulus, they didn't have a single hero that has a built-in mobility spell, so they needed to resort to all the blink daggers on DK, on Beastmaster, and when you're doing it that way, it kind of takes time, and Tinker took off. He was already on the moon when it comes to net worth.
And also both teams have shown how their mid laners are, imperative for the early game tempo. In the first game, you got Stormstormer playing a sniper. He shuts down the active mid pop. Therefore now, Nouns can't be active with a pop. Sniper just wants to farm. In game 2, we have Stormstormer playing a Viper. He survives against a Tinker. Tinker then also wants to farm. So I think in the entire series, we've had farming mids be prevalent. The only time we had an active hero, it lost the lane. And then the teams are subscribed to only farming, which is, I think they're very lucky that there isn't a Liquid or a Gaming or someone in this tournament. If they go up against that type of team, they're getting obliterated.
They wouldn't have the time to farm.
They would not have the time. And I think we are, these teams, as much as it's a close series, they need to think in the back of their heads, if they need to maybe level up the speed in which they play, or even, not even the speed, but just respect trying to do more in the early game, because playing like they are at the moment, it's good for this series, but against a Falcons, against a Heroic, to even mention teams in this tournament, this is not a recipe for winning this tournament. They are going to have to improve, I feel.
Yeah, when it comes to these guys, however, they're collecting cheese picks like secret gemstones on the side of Nouns. They had the Meepo before, they had the Medusa as well. Now they're having Tinker added to the list. So overall, I feel that they should be very happy coming into the next series, at least, because teams will have to put on Giga Brain to outdraft all of that. However, I do have to say that I don't think that Tinker was pre-planned in the last game. I think that it was maybe in the back of their head, preparing for this series into Stormer, because he played Viper before, and maybe that's a thing that they had planned for, but not necessarily, okay, this is the draft we're going for, the Tinker last pick.
No, we heard from a Mag after the draft also that he felt like they drafted Nouns into a little bit of a corner where they had to pick an unorthodox mid hero.
It was creative.
It was, and it was the case, but I feel like Nouns had a really strong foundation, though, to be able to go for a Tinker, because they needed a ranged hero to play against a Viper. You can't pick a melee hero, you'd be losing the lane. They had wave clear with the Alchemist and the Pangolier. They had aggression with the Witch Doctor and the Clock to make smoke. On paper, the draft is very strong. They played it to enable the farm. They respected the fact that Alk and Tinker need a little bit of time to get online. So fundamentally, Nouns, from game 1 to game 2, they stepped up a lot. So no knocking that. It's just, in the back of my mind, it's just the overall speed they're playing at is scaring me a bit. But
you're thinking, if they play like this in the next round,
picture,
whoever is going to
get
demolished.
Big picture. Outside of the series, it's this. I think this Nouns second game draft could go up against a Falcons or someone just because of the discipline required to get this draft working. But again, it's I think a lot of time to grow, but we do have a game 3. Winner will be playing.
If you were dissecting that last game, seeing Avulus, they played it kind of fast enough, but with a lot of mistakes. At one point, using that Aegis to take the Tormentor, and then they feed a couple of kills under the Tormentor. When you're playing into, it was always like this. When you're playing into a draft like Tinker, you can't make too many mistakes because it just stalls the game. and he eventually finds his farm, and then you're in an even bigger problem. So, yeah, Tinker aside, let's see, Avulus, they ban out the Snap and the Storm so far. On the other side, we have a Bet SD Phoenix, and we'll see what the last ban will be. Bristleback from the Nouns. So
Bristleback for now, yeah.
has something changed from Nouns?
No,
Previous
right?
game,
Tell
same
you.
bans. The
Let's see
only
this, right, like
yeah.
the Enchantress gets banned out and the Pango gets snatched by Avulus.
Yeah.
So that's the difference now.
Because previously they banned out that Nyx Assassin. That does mean that that's still in the pool, but most people don't really go for it unless you're Baboka and unless you're up against an Enchantress.
There's still a Clock, right? Like another hero
Yeah.
that is super popular. Like Doom left in the pool, Timbersaw left in the pool. Heroes that aren't really touched by these two so far, but also available.
Yeah, they're taking a little bit to go for, but they go for a Monkey King. That is a different turn for Nouns, I feel.
perfectly fine though. We saw how, I believe it was Beastcoast earlier today, utilized Monkey King to pressure. And if you're trying to maybe flex the Pangolier, Jibe likes to play it, it's allowed on camera, then now Nouns have this advantage of putting the monkey in whatever lane the Pangolier goes to.
Yep.
So,
And they also have the last pick, right? Like
Yeah, exactly,
overall,
yeah.
Nouns have the last pick, so they shouldn't be scared of putting monkey mid or safe lane. And it's probably one of the best flex picks at the moment. Like on the mid lane, you can play it very actively, switch up your item style a little bit, and on the safe lane, you can hard carry the game as well. Avulus, they just get rid of some Zibe comfort zone.
And nope, Avulus get rid of Gunner comfort zone. There you
Oh,
go.
whatever, both of them play Visage.
God, they're the same offlaner.
They're the same person. No, they're not. But yeah, Mars Visage out. Let's see, Nouns gets a chance to ban into pick. And I feel like a broken record, but
Say
There's
Clockwork,
the
do it.
clock-
Say it,
clock-
say it, say it.
Clockwork is still in the pool. If they don't
Whoa!
pick it here, that's not smart.
As much as, yes, it's a broken record, we have seen so many times Clockwork jumping onto a Pangolier, the battery assault prevents the roll up of the Rolling Thunder. So it's a, yeah, again, very strong pick.
Yeah.
They haven't banned on Avulus because they're respecting the kind of the grouping offlaners that Gunner likes to play. But yes,
I'm looking at
Take it.
the Beastmaster that's still left in the pool. I'm
Yep.
looking at the Clockwork, and I'm looking at Luna. I feel like these heroes should shape up the second phase of the picks.
now they're spending a lot of time on this ban though. They're eating a lot of their reserve time because again, they only have a single ban. They go for the Medusa because they, maybe they're respecting the pace of the game, of course.
Yeah, because they lost without a fight in game number 1, and they
Yeah.
don't want to experience the same thing
true.
again.
They also had a Medusa picked against them when they picked Meepo. And even though they won their Meepo game, maybe they don't want to. Like, I feel like I have Meepo in the back of my mind. I think that if Nouns have a chance to set up for a good Meepo game,
It's
they will
already
go
kind of
for it.
iffy of a Meepo game. Like Pangolier is already a
Bro, it's one hero.
Or is Pango enough to be a counter to Meepo? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying
I
like
misheard you. I was like, wait a second, what are we doing? The delirium, it's hit me. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, it's been a long day.
No.
understandable.
The thing is, I need
it's
people
not
to
that
understand
long.
this day has not been long. It's just that game 1 of this
Made it
series
seem that way.
made it seem like we've been here for a very long time. We got a Hoodwink coming out. I am not object. I'm very happy with the Hoodwink. I'm not objecting that.
That's because there are, I don't use the phrase often enough, but there are heroes that are strong because they are building blocks. They don't have many disadvantages. They're relatively neutral in regards to when they're picked. There's not a glaring weakness to them. It's just, okay, cool. And, Monkey, building block. Pango, building block. Hoodwink, like, this is all 3 heroes that just set up for future picks to create the levels in which teams utilize.
Yeah, you build a little sand castle and then you throw Meepo on top of that.
Oh my God,
Everything is
Lizard.
ruined. But yeah, I completely agree. Hoodwink, just a stable position 4, can fit in almost anything and just does so much. You get the break, you get the burst, you get the control as well from her.
Yeah, I think if I'm Avulus, I go for 2 supports in this one. I would choose.
Sniper.
Oh,
Sniper
take it away,
Clockwork.
Shiva.
I don't think I would choose Sniper, but I think they choose Sniper. Oh,
They should go Clockwork.
They should
Yeah,
go Clockwork.
I
They go
agree.
Enigma. I like that.
Ooh, the Jibe Enigma. That's a little bit quicker on the map.
It's a bit quicker, and all three of these heroes can brawl constantly. Like you look at Pango, Clock, and Enigma. This is looking like a very active opener, and both of you kind of requested something a bit more active from these two teams.
I have the big power play. This is where you put Monkey to mid, you put Tusk and Gyrocopter, you drinking buddies the flat cannon, you keep pressuring Enigma, then you have Monkey against the Pangolier, and you have winning lanes. Like as much as we're kind of like over predicting at this point, I do feel that Nouns need to shut the Enigma down, prevent the early siege. Gyrocopter does that, Tusk is available, and then Monkey does well against mid Pango.
No,
For me, that's a winning draft right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because with this Enigma pick, is any flex left on the side of Avulus?
Oh, they go with the Chen. On the side of Avulus, I don't think so.
No,
I feel
that's
like
that's a Pango mid Enigma
you
offlane.
pretty much cemented your picks with the Enigma. They go a bit differently, like they don't go for the Tusk and Gyro that you called for. I still wouldn't mind seeing a different carry for them and putting the Monkey mid.
They're using this Monkey flex really to the end, which is also fair.
Which is absolutely fine, and they don't have the last pick, so they'll have to reveal something. Maybe they didn't have to do it this way, just because they don't have the ultimate last pick, but okay, that's fine too.
Yeah, I think
Chen is fine versus Enigma, basically. That's one of the reasons why they...
In hindsight, for Avulus would be, showing Jibei's hero here rather than putting Eki's hero into the mix. Now threatens Jibei's lane, right? Because like the fact that we instantly, I jumped on the whole Gyrocopter, they go for Chen. It's like
question.
Answer.
You guys just told me that there definitely would be a Pango mid and an Enigma offlane. That's a Puck. Where's Puck going to go?
Oh yeah, good point.
You're very correct.
We can provide the answer.
We were very wrong as well.
They are now putting Enigma into the supporting role.
Most likely, yeah.
Yes.
This should be your 5 Enigma, which isn't...
And then Eki on the clock.
The reason why it's fallen immensely out of favor and why we didn't even care about it is because the speed of the game that we expect from the TI meta, the way in which you want to keep ganking and pressuring. Support Enigma doesn't really do that because after lane, you kind of want to sit back in the jungle for a little bit. Farm up a blink or that one item, a solar crest.
Honestly, T, I wonder if this Chen was just an oversight from them. They banned Enchantress, they left the Chen in, and they picked Enigma into it, and maybe it caught them off guard. And forced the Enigma into a support role.
It's why now, like, once I saw that, the Chen pick, whatever, it's like the fact that you went for Enigma there, like, I don't know, I feel like Eki just has to sacrifice his pick, and you have the closing pick on the draft, give it to your offlane, give it to your carry, utilize it for a core. The fact that you've, just show, like, again, like, Enigma isn't a hero where you're like, ooh, where's it going to go? Like, sure, it goes to support, but...
My problem with all that you're saying is, now we have an Enigma support, right? That's fine. In some crazy scenario in a different game in which you don't see the enemy team, it's different, it's fine. But in this game, you're playing into a Chen. Like, the aggressiveness that he's bringing...
Is Midnight Pulse still killing all the trees, or is that one of the ones that it got removed?
It does. Yeah.
That's really nice against the Monkey King.
Sure.
Yeah.
You're really reaching here, actually.
Like, later on, it's going to be great.
I think Clockwork is great against the Monkey King,
actually,
too.
No, I need a quick question with chat. Press 1 if you're upset that Macropie doesn't kill trees. Okay? I don't know. I'm still in pain.
Jakiro is not in the game.
I know, but I'm still in pain. You just spoke about killing trees with spells, and I just want to know if you guys also feel the same. Avulus, though, go for a Brood Mother.
Yeah.
Is that nice? Do we like this?
It provides... Nouns don't really have a lot of early damage. After lanes, it's all about, does Monkey want to make move? Does Chen want to make move? And now you have to answer, what's the Brood pressuring? Where are you going? Which stops Nouns from being, dictating where they want to go. They have to react now.
Can someone just tell me why these two teams just decide to go full sneaky today? Like, their drafts, like, holy hell, man. They didn't show up to play Dota. They just want to crush the enemy with some niche picks, which is fair as well. Like, Brood Mother in this game.
Sven.
Yeah.
I mean, again, we haven't mentioned it too much, but the lane of Pango plus Enigma should be pretty annoying, but now Nouns go back for the Sven. I mean, I feel like Nouns are going to be pretty happy with their draft. Like, carry-to-carry matchup, the Sven should outscale the Brood Mother. For the early game, it's all on the support Enigma making the move.
I think they're... Okay, this, no pun intended, whatever.
Oh, here we go.
It's just because of the hero and the word is in my mind, but they got tangled in their own web on the side of Avulus just because they just picked this Enigma thinking that it's a really good offlane game. Then it got countered by the Chen a little bit. They move it to a position 5. Then they want to completely cheese things up, get that Brood Mother in. And I don't even think that, like, okay, I'm actually a big enjoyer of a Brood carry. I really like that hero in position 1 right now. I think it isn't played enough. At the same time, I think this isn't maybe the best Brood Mother carry game. You have so much control. You're playing into a Hoodwink and Centaur. So much burst damage later on from those two. There's a copy playing Monkey King from the mid lane. It's a decent mid lane Monkey game as well. He can hunt you through the trees. There's a lot of reasons why I'm not really a fan of it.
Avulus have to be aggressive. They need to shake off whatever happened in the last 2 games. They need to break the map, get early items and start mining night, play behind the aggression of the Eki Enigma with the Jibe Pangolier. Because if they don't go and fight, then eventually Yuma will just go to the lower bracket. And I hope that didn't hurt you in your ears. I forgot not to slap or clap on the mic, but it doesn't matter. That's what's important. Yuma's going to do it to Avulus if this game goes longer than 35 minutes.
The game will go long, you think?
Of course. Look at the 2 teams. They just want to farm. But yeah, late game Nouns, mid game Nouns, early game Avulus, big timer. So yeah, we'll see if they can do it. But I think the offlane duo of Jibe and Eki will make or break if Avulus get a game, I feel.
Okay, well, I also want to hear the opinions of our commentary duo. I mean, at this point, they might as well join us because I don't know if there's much play-by-play that they have had to do in the previous 2 games.
Yeah, you get to talk.
Hey, how's it going? I missed you guys.
How's it going with you, Gabe?
How about that game 1? That was
awesome. More of that.
Please don't remind me of that.
I just want to have fun. We're going to have fun this game, surely. There's an Enigma. Big black. Whoa, 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 whoa.
He's broken.
This is what happens when a game like that happens. I will say,
I have to work with this.
Yay.
Yay.
I mean, I love working with this.
Hey, Tundra, give us your Black Hole impression.
No, I want to say that regardless, even if game 1, the game wasn't great, I have very much enjoyed the commentary. So I have no doubt that I will enjoy the commentary game number 3. And that goes for you guys as well at home. Enjoy the commentary with Cinderin and Lyrical.
Thank you so much, Shiver. We're into this one, and we're going to see the crazy...
I don't know where you got that sound effect from. It's a true mystery. Okay, I mean, I can't wait for them to cast Black Hole now. No, I'm just looking forward to that. Can we just skip past level 5 already?
I'm
just go to the mid game?
They're at the event horizon, by the way. Units 600 radius moving away from Enigma have move speed penalty. Look at that one. Kind of cool. Do you like it?
Does anyone ever take that one?
I don't think so.
Actually, I want to take that back. I think I have seen it taken a little bit, but generally it's the other one where you spawn Eidolons when you take damage.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this one is, I mean, it's interesting in some certain situations. If you're the one aggressing, if you're chasing them, it's easier for you to stick your Eidolons on them because they're slow and running away. So Neko, running into Fly. Okay, that's a very early double blood grenade.
And his creep is dead too. Oh, Fly, say it ain't so. And now they're... Wait, do they get to farm that? Probably not.
That's a very tanky Eidolon.
Yeah. Well, first blood gained, and we're going to see a little bit of a different matchup this time. Puck have not got to see a ton of this hero throughout this entire day, but going up against Monkey King.
In theory, should be a relatively good lane for the Puck, I would think, when you get a couple levels. If you're clutch with Monkey and you dodge orbs with Mischief rather consistently, I guess you can hold your own, but I would think Puck with a couple of levels will start being somewhat tricky for Copy here. Aside from that, position 4, Enigma, carry, Brood. There's a lot of different things coming out here from Avulus. They're really going for some of their more special stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Can't say I love it personally. I feel like it's based on how this series has gone so far, unless Eki gets like really farmed on the Enigma, I'm just not a believer that Avulus will play this game very fast. And by extension, is it really a good carry Brood game then when your core matchups are Monkey King and Sven? I feel like those are 2 of the rougher ones. You can't really fight very easily into Wukong's command. Sven becomes overwhelming in single target damage. The lane itself against Hoodwink and Centaur, I would also very much favor the Nouns side in.
Right.
So I do favor them quite a bit, and it really comes down to whether Avulus can get some sort of snowball rolling. And yeah, once again, not too inspired thinking that way based on the previous 2 games. So we'll see. So far, so good for the side of Nouns in the lanes.
Been watching Fly down here try and deal with these Eidolons, and taking one over has tended to work, and then he can just farm up the other one. So not being able to really play for the split in this lane, it seems, although they have been able to get a couple of denies here and there onto the Pango.
It's actually kind of crazy that Fly can take one Eidolon, and the one he takes is stronger than the 2 of Eki remaining combined.
Yeah.
Because his has 450 health, which is the health minimum of his creeps is 400 plus 50 times his level. So now it should be 500 even. And the Eidolons have like 200 HP. So yeah, very strong. And Eki can't really not play with Eidolons. Then the hero is just walking around right-clicking and casting an occasional Malefice. It sounds pretty damn weak. Well, we'll see.
I do kind of wonder if at some point Eki might just back out and like go and farm, and then Fly might back out and go and farm. I could see a world where that maybe happens.
That's this world.
Okay.
That's every game we've had so far in the series. There's going to be creeps dying. It's not their fault.
Okay.
The creeps, that is. They're just on the map.
Right, yes. I thought you were talking about the players for a second.
I mean, they have full agency in this regard.
Wow, look at this laning stage, though.
Yep.
Cindy, they are having some trouble here for Stormstormer. Copy doing a good job of dodging these orbs.
Yeah, maybe my read on this mid lane is wrong, but you got to remember the puck was picked into Monkey King, right?
Yeah.
So Stormstormer chose this matchup, and I thought, Stormstormer is a very added puck player, but maybe he's just getting outplayed here by Copy. And it's either that or this is an expected Monkey win. Stormstormer is just, struggling a little bit, but then they felt it was worth it in the big picture.
I mean,
if this is how this lane goes, that's just not.
It could also be that they thought that the monkey was going to be carry or something, and then they swapped it. There's a lot of potential options. Did see Stormstormer talking a lot right after the pick happened, where they ended up taking the Sven.
But at the same time, if you think the Monkey King is carry, but you have no confirmation,
right?
Then Copy plays this.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Gonna be fine as 2 heroes get hit by the bushwhack, and Eki making the rotation but not finding pay dirt, and Gunner giving a rare tip.
Yeah, that's not a great rotation either, because as you were talking about, now Chen can happily just farm for a little bit. It's not like Sven is going to struggle 1v1 against a Pango. So Eki with that failed rotation kind of has to just gate back bottom, waste a TP, waste a lot of mana. And, well, okay, Nouns with a very good start to a game that I would agree with. I believe it was mainly T talking about it on the panel. He feels like Avulus need to be the ones running the show early on, and I can already say now that seems quite unlikely. When Puck has this atrocious of a beginning to the game, Monkey King, we've seen how he can just take over the laning stage, jumping from lane to lane. Gunner
does not
probably be eaten alive here by the Brood.
And Smiling Knight giving the tip back now. All right, things getting a little bit frisky here as we get into the late evening.
Okay.
See if there's some extracurricular activities going on with some of these tips here. Copy level 6, Lelis passing through, wanting to secure the rune.
Yep.
Another dodge there of the storm. I don't know if Fly backing away, summons his creep, runs it away, and should be okay. I don't know how much damage he's done with Orb to Monkey, but I feel like it's been very little.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's what I was saying. Maybe if Monkey is very good with Mischief, this lane is just flat out good for the hero. Would like to see it again later on. We'll see if we get the opportunity for that. But as it stands, Stormstormer has lost the lane quite significantly. Copy's almost level 7, Stormstormer's level 5.5, and that means that Monkey King can do stuff like this.
Eki in trouble.
Free kill.
They get the body block off, and that ensures that they can find this one. Now Seneko in no man's land gets caught here.
Could just stick TP, I think. Oh, wait, never mind. Lelis is here. Yeah, he can't.
Still looking for the chase down.
In a second.
Gets Jingu off, baits the courier, so he'll get some retribution. But still, finding that kill and now getting the Wisdom Rune.
And with the Simeon stride, he can just keep looking for the next to the next to the next play on this Monkey whenever he wants, as long as he pushes out mid. So Stormstormer is showing in the lane. The Monkey can connect to side lanes with relative ease. And it's also part of the reason why they placed this observer ward up here, I think, for Avulus, the one overseeing the hard camp, is it's a multi-purpose ward, right? It first of all sees if they're stacking camps for the Sven to farm, but also it'll see if the Monkey King chooses to start jumping northwest to try to head up top for a gank. So makes a lot of sense if they can protect it. It's actually happening right now. Poppy.
Boundless has sticks, needs to dodge. Lelis moving in, but with all the heroes in the area and no 6 on Centaur.
That's big.
Copy moves out a bit too far, gets punished. Zibe rolling through from bottom. In the meantime, Yuma is pushing that bottom tier 1 tower. Gunner in trouble as they bring numbers. Lelis also caught by Seneko. They're going to turn around on Gunner, try and get a double-edged hit off, but it's not going to happen.
Okay.
And so nobody's showing up to this.
Yep, they're definitely picking up the pace here, Avulus, which is what they need to do. And it all starts with that Monkey King pick, finding him out in the open as he is jumping across with the Enigma, and then one kill to the next to the next. Now Brutus level 6, so looking at the tower, but Copy.
Oh, Lelis right there on top of him.
Good cogs.
Well played, well played. Has already used his Boundless. Can Copy chase any more?
Yeah, he can't jump because the Spiderlings keep just tickling him, so he can't get the tree dance off. Stampede, however.
Looking, fly, very fast Chen. Can't quite manage to find the Smiling Knight, but Copy
stampeding Chen for the kill.
Copy hunting, chasing a courier. Oh, needs to find it.
He didn't see Smiling Knight at nighttime.
Wow.
You will see Soneko now, though. Cog's not going to try.
Was hoping to cut that one down, but not able to do it in time.
Look at the CS, by the way. What a... That's a bit of distance, one could say. Sven with 84 to the Brute's 39.
And that's without hitting Spiderlings, right?
Exactly. I mean, he might have a couple of Eidolons, but it's not many. So just raw farm. Yuma getting tons of space. This is obviously the trade-off when Avulus brought all these heroes top, was that Yuma got to do his thing. Trading off tier 1s here. Pretty standard stuff when Enigma faces Chen. Generally, the heroes will opt for the enemy safe lane tower as their first pushing play.
Carry Brood appears to be going in for an Orchid, and as they rotate in the Enigma, they are not quite in the area here. They do have level 6 on Eki. Just securing this rune, bringing 4 heroes mid to secure the rune.
Look at Eki's quick buy. Boots blink.
That's kind of cool.
That is not what Enigmas usually go nowadays, but obviously high impact plays are made with this item if you find the right angle. It's not the easiest team to run it against, though.
Yuma scan connects, realizes the danger, will back all the way to the tier 2 tower here, depending upon his team to come and save him if things go awry. At least at this point, it's a slight lead for Nouns. The main difference at this point being that Sven's farm compared to the Brood.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be understated how important that is, because again, hero-to-hero matchups. If Sven and Monkey King are having a pretty good game, I'm a little bit worried for the potential impact of Smiling Knight later down the line, even if you get very farmed on Brood. This hero generally wins fights one of 2 ways. Hang on, let's see if Gunner can get out of this situation. He can, there's no hook shot. So Stormstormer will jump away here. Nice try with the Ripper pull into the Centaur Conqueror Stomp, but Stormstormer avoids it. So Brute generally wins fights one of 2 ways. One of them, we cast a game earlier in the tournament where I believe it was Navi that won it with mid 1 playing Brood. A lot of like weaving in and out with Orchid, poking and prodding, killing a support, playing around the trees, you know, step-by-step dismantling the fight. And the other one is Brutus just overwhelming, runs in a web, pops BKB, and just eats the carry. The second version is not happening this game, most likely.
Jumps in.
This is not even close to a kill.
Yeah. Zibe.
Can't jump anymore. He lost too much health, but doesn't matter.
Gunnar eyeing up all of these spiders that are here. Obviously, they can't do a ton to him with that blade mail and retaliate up at 4 points. But he can't do much to them either.
Oh, interesting to see the triple bracer as well. This would have been a great value proposition in the last patch, but in this one, he's eventually going to have to sell them. And each bracer you sell is like a 250 gold loss, right? So he needs to really feel like these braces are paying off now to make this a worthwhile investment. I can get the first two. The third one is just a little bit unusual.
Yeah. I mean, the horsepower talent is always pretty nice. And getting that extra a little bit.
You could make the case for, is the third bracer really better than a chainmail? Right. For example. It's like comparable pricing, but the armor, when your health pool gets big enough, the armor starts being extremely valuable for the EHP. Yeah, don't know. Maybe he likes the extra health regen, and maybe he misclicked and bought an extra one. It's like, well,
maybe.
No return policy, might as well keep it.
Well, Eki is going to get his Blink Dagger before Gunnar does.
Okay, this one is really interesting to watch now, because, like, okay, what's the plan with this? Are you looking for a fight?
Well,
immediately with the Blink, or...
Saneko, hook shots in. Eki hangs out to the side. Does have Black Hole at the ready. Blink forward can't be there. Lelis breaking the Blink for the moment. Gunnar still living. Stormstormer jumps in. That bracer doing work, but not enough to keep him alive. Fly now being hit. Copy living. Saneko gets hit by the stun, but Copy. Oh, what a great freaking jump! And Eki Black Hole's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Copy 20 stick charges, pops it, stays alive. Oh, that's unfortunate.
All right.
Just out of range.
All right, so far.
Yes.
Blink was not worth it.
Yes.
It happens. Sometimes you miss. He had a clutch play in the fight at the same time. He almost died to the Chen creeps behind the fight as he got hit by Sharpshooter, but he was able to smoke on like 5% health and then salve up so he could reinitiate. And Black Hole, nothing. But it was a good thought.
Yes.
And as I have come to learn about you, you really value
a good thought.
The positive outlook on everything.
The good thought is halfway there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I mean, if you have enough good thoughts, you can do anything in this world.
That's just not true.
Fly taking some damage now. And will eventually go down. There's a Quelling Blade dropped. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you could say it like that. The other thing was that a smoke ended up getting used there. Wow, 10 camps stacked. Oh, Lelis is huge. Oh, he's going to get like a whole nother level off of this one. Love to see that. Level 8 on Lelis.
Yep.
My goodness.
I mean, the Sven is starting to pull ahead by a lot. I know the Brood is keeping up quite well. Brood is a very fast farmer when played as a carry. But it feels like the combination of the Sven and Monkey King being where they're at, Brood kind of needs to... He really needs to focus on farming a lot. These pushing plays that he's a part of it with the spiders, that's fine, but he has to get back to the jungle and has to keep that curve going. Otherwise, he gets overwhelmed. When Sven gets one full item ahead against you, it's a problem. Unless he can rely on, you know, a black hole to protect him.
Right. I mean,
so far, might not feel too confident in that, but Eki will get it together.
I mean, here's the thing. That fight went like almost okay, and they didn't hit anybody with the black hole. When they hit people, it's going to be amazing.
Yep.
Stun. Saneko. Do they have enough? Oh, running. But not enough. They wanted it.
My God, man. The fight went almost okay.
It was almost okay.
Expectations are sky high. My goodness.
Stormstormer. Stop.
Went straight into them.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got it. They got him, all right. Zibe. Running away.
He just did not respect the counterplay potential of the Centaur Blink there, and Eki also didn't have Black Hole yet. It was 15-second cooldown. So despite the Sven and the Centaur stacking on top of each other, the play didn't exist for Eki to bail him out. Eki going BKB next. So the classic, the old school Enigma build.
Oh, I like it.
Brown Boots Blink BKB on position 4. Very, very unusual. Very high risk too, because it does mean that effectively Avulus are playing.
Oh, he got that one.
Yep.
Big play as they will kill off Yuma.
Very, very big. They're playing without auras.
Yeah.
And that's pretty unusual.
Boundless. Copy doesn't want any of that mess. Jumps away. And will find Gunner and bring it down the Centaur.
Okay. Just 3 kills back to back, no problem. Avulus equalized the game again. So, but yeah, that's the trade-off, right? If you're playing Enigma like this and you have no auras in your team, usually Enigma is the one who will buy them. The trade-off here is you should be weaker in the coming 10 minutes than you would be if Enigma had, say, drums, mech, or drums, pipe, or whatever.
Look at this.
Which is usually what offlane Enigma does.
Oh, that's a nice replay right there.
But if you can get past this gap and then suddenly have a reliable BKB Black Hole for the Sven later, that's huge, because Nouns have no reliable BKB counter. They can't stun the Enigma in BKB Black Hole, so once Eki gets there, he can just wait the fight out. Just stay far back, wait for the Monkey King or the Sven to go in, pop your stuff, and go in.
Yeah.
Now he has a Philosopher's Stone, which will make it even easier to reach that, and they're also going for the Roche. So yeah, as much as I was a little bit worried for the Brood, I genuinely think the Enigma could just cover the bases here in its ability to shut down these melee cores that Nouns are running 3 of. They're smoking up. It feels like they know this is happening, but they're going to be too late. The Roche will already be dead when they arrive.
There is one counter to the Black Hole that they have, which is that it's a long cooldown, and now they jump in and stun. Find Snako. Smiling Knight. Try to hide away. They get him with the bushwhack. Snako will hook shot to get out. Smiling Knight goes through the gate. Realizes he doesn't want to. And... Okay. I believe he is dead now.
He's fine. That's a big kill. He was 6-0. Fly gets a ton of gold on Chen. Just what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you can get a bunch of good auras.
And yeah, now you've got the Roche, but you didn't use the Aegis for anything, so it wasn't really worth much. And they got cut off afterwards. Let's see what Chen wants to invest into here. So he's got the Solar Crest. Could just be Greaves. Let's see. Suppose it's a decent game for Vlad's.
Honestly, I wouldn't hate like another Lotus or something too. Like being able to take off the Spirit Vessel and then you can pop Hand of God. Kind of nice.
Is also an option. I think Fly should buy whatever he thinks is going to be the best solution to Black Hole.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly what the best answer is here, but that should probably be the line of thinking. You could go for a Force Staff because you're against Clockwork, but I don't think that is the brunt of the problem here that you'll face later.
Right.
It is, first of all, can you guys get vision and set up the fights? But that's not really about your itemization. That's just about having wards and the Monkey King giving vision.
Which you can buy with money. Stampede available. Oh, no, it's not actually Hookshot, excuse me. And Snako low, gets away. They are going to Stampede. Copy, finding Zibe, and Yuma jumps in, able to take down Snako. 2 kills back-to-back.
And all it cost them is a Wisdom Rune, but that's well worth it. Getting that core, probably also opening up the mid-tower here, potentially.
And if they get even more, that would be huge. The miss on the Bushwhack, unfortunate, but a good idea. So they will kill off that courier.
Mid-tower Eki, setting up.
Oh, it was close.
Wait, what?
He was trying to Malefice.
It looked like he blinked Malefice and then stopped the Malefice to cast Midnight Pulse, but maybe he didn't. That was just a fast reaction as well from the Sven to get out. But yeah, Malefic's opener doesn't really work anyway because Yuma will just BKB and start running with Warcry. So I think you have to, at the same time though, you have to damage him with something, right? Otherwise he's just going to blink when you blink in. So yeah, just a little bit of a tricky situation. Didn't work.
2,000 gold lead, 9 to 11.
Fly gave us his answer. He went mech.
Okay. Like that.
Let's see if he finishes the Greaves or not.
Ready with this black hole.
This is a really, really big moment if they find a good black hole here for Avulus.
Stampede back up in 10 seconds. Fly trying to run away. They're all hunting the Chen man. Gunner found black hole onto him. I don't know if that's going to be good enough.
Work at all.
No. Oh, God, no. Zibe in trouble trying to run away from Yuma, but this BKB running out soon, but they have enough to take down the Pango. They will hook shot to get away, but the pain just keeps on coming as Gunner hunting Seneko through the trees. Will manage to get away for a moment, but Yuma blinks forward, brings him down.
I mean, I understand that black hole looks juicy because there's two supports somewhat close together. I mean, unfortunately, they also had some anti-synergy. I think they got knocked away by the Pango roll. But either way, you have to wait with this black hole and wait for the melee cores. Even if the two supports look nice there, you don't have BKB. You're going to blink black hole them, you're going to get stunned by Monkey, you're going to blink stunned by Sven, you're going to get stunned by Centaur. This black hole will never last in those circumstances. He has to wait for the fight to develop. And it's also, his teammates have pretty good setup, right? You don't have to lead the charge when you have a puck with blink coil, you have a hook shot, you have a Pango roll. Just let the fight develop and find your moment of opportunity. I really think that, to me, that was a pretty big blunder and made the fight very easy for Nouns, because the moment they see Enigma and they kill him, Sven's like, okay, the fight's free.
Right.
Like, there's literally nothing stopping this guy when Enigma's out of play.
Obviously, that type of play starts to get a little bit easier once you get BKB on Enigma, but still...
Even then, okay. If you imagine the fight we just had, right? I'm just saying, I know where you're coming from, because yes, then you have... But Sven would have two-shot him there anyway.
That's
right. So you have to fight the Sven.
Well, Sven does get that kill.
But I like your optimism as always.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I believe in the good of Avulus as well, just like you do.
That's right. 4,000 gold lead. And maybe...
Okay.
Oh, the Centaur! All the creeps just want to help out Nouns right now. They're going to stampede the Chen away. Ain't it pretty? Oh, and now they look for more. Copy is there. The pendants, the hits, they keep on coming. Fly, they found their man, and Smiling Knight does manage to escape. Eki, oh, the Mud Golem. Hurl that boulder. Ride him, cowboy.
Another good sequence for Nouns. They do lose their Centaur close to the enemy base, but they got half a base tower, and they got 3 kills of their own.
Tower is under attack.
So really, how much of a price was it to pay there? Copy approaching BKB as well, so more trouble for the Dire side with dealing with these heroes. And Smiling Knight, he's going for a Lincoln's to try to... I mean, it's a feel-good item on Brood, because you're universal, but what are you trying to block? Just Sven stun? I guess?
Yeah, I think so.
Huh. I mean, maybe that's
double edge.
Maybe that's good enough.
Copy on the Smiling Knight.
He knows there's no BKB this time.
Although they managed to find him, the sharpshooter out. Copy bit off more than he could chew. Gunner.
A little bit of an awkward situation down here. Zibe is... Well, Zibe sees the Centaur, not vice versa. It's his ward, so he will navigate the situation properly and get out.
Try and cut this wave first, maybe. Could be an issue if he reveals himself here. Yeah, Zibe is just going to go for the next wave, it looks like.
Radiant are scanning.
Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, he's going to go for that one. Very nice. Tier 1 tower, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably just going to concede this one. The timing you want to wait for as Avulus now is the Enigma BKB, which is 100 gold away.
Ooh.
Ideally, Brood gets Lincolns as well, and now Puck also has an early Octarine. So Stormstormer went Blink, Witchblade, Octarine. So does not have a defensive item if he gets caught by a stun, so really has to rely on his instincts and fast fingers here and good placement of his hero in general, which can always be tricky against Monkey King. You can always get caught.
Yeah.
But he is trusting that this is the way to go about it.
Killing some spiders for copy. Seneko back behind enemy lines.
Oh, Smiling Knight finds a good angle there to wrap around them.
Manages to get away. Yuma popping God Strength now.
Next tower to take here. And Avulus are not ready to fight despite their BKB on Enigma. Their heroes are not placed in the vicinity just yet, so they will just give this one up. Not really the most important tower anyway, so it's okay. But this feels like a game now where the way Avulus win a fight is you bait for your Enigma.
Okay.
So I know he's position 4, and this sounds weird, and that's not usually how Dota is played, but Eki is, the way I see it right now, the only reliable way they kill the big boys is Midnight Pulse Black Hole. And the way you bait it, there's plenty of ways. You know, Clockwork can start something, maybe your Puck can get caught and actually allow the Enigma to come in because he's relatively tanky with the Octarine Core on Puck. Just get the fight started. They see Lelis. This is a good beginning. Nice two-man coil.
Looking for more. They reveal everybody. And Chen going to pop the Hand of God, actually. Now Lelis in further trouble.
Okay, couple good picks. Nice smoke.
Well played, well played.
Yeah, and they didn't need to expend anything there, really, except, I mean, Coil and Pango Roll are relatively short cooldowns in the grand scheme of things.
So is there a priority of which one you go for first between the Monkey King and the Sven, or is it just either of them is fine? In terms of black holing?
I mean, I would definitely say Sven if you have free choice.
Yeah.
Because he's the harder hitter and the more bursty of the heroes. Monkey King, they can kind of kite out. They can survive most of the time with, like, running out of the ring, using their Solar Crest, and using the mobility of their Pango and Puck. The Sven can just eat them in a matter of seconds. So probably him. But he doesn't need to shy away from black holing the Monkey King necessarily if he finds the right opportunity. Sven just has to be accounted for.
Right.
Because if you blink BKB, black hole the Monkey King, and Sven can blink behind you, he'll kill you in 2 hits.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any armor on the Enigma. 6 armor, 1500 health. That's probably 2 or 3 swings from the Sven. So that means you get a 1-second black hole when he pops him out. Important moment here.
They have Harpoon completed on Sven. Everybody grouped together in the pit. Copy, wrapping around, following the Enigma Courier. They see him, they're right on top of him, but they break the tree. But Yuma, he does it immediately. He blinks into the black hole. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. It wasn't enough damage. Oh, it didn't even matter. Not even a little bit. Oh, Yuma is way too strong. Zibe has to run away. He cannot run away. A triple kill for Yuma. They kill Copy. He caught both of the cores.
Yeah, he cut down the Monkey King instantly with Midnight Pulse. Sven comes in to try to help, and then he black holes both of them inside the Midnight Pulse. But they didn't have enough damage. I want to see a replay of that. I feel like Puck was not a part of the kills, and Clockwork was off to the side zoning off other heroes, but there's like... Okay, so this is great. Oh, Puck is even here.
What happened?
They just don't have enough damage. I mean, it's just a numbers game. They can't 100-0 the Sven in the black hole. He presses 2 buttons and kills 2 of them. Yeah, that's
really bad.
That's that. And how much more damage could you have brought into that? Puck did damage, Pango did damage, Brute and Enigma. So it was only the Clockwork, actually, that wasn't hitting. It's just this 4,000 health Sven. They can't kill him in the black hole unless he's softened up at first. And man, I don't know how Eki could have played that any better, because he has to Midnight Pulse the Monkey.
Yeah.
And he has to black hole the Sven or he gets 2-shot. So there was no better way for him personally to play the fight.
I mean, I guess the problem is if Sven is BKB'd, they don't have the damage. That's realistically what it is.
So what if Brood had a damage item instead of Lincoln's?
I mean, that's okay.
I mean, that's Dota sometimes, right? Like, when you choose one item, you don't choose another. And he went for the defensive approach. I know it's hybrid on Universal Heroes, but it's not nearly the same damage as an actual damage item. So maybe that's what they needed there.
Trying to soften up Yuma, but
Gunner?
this man is not soft. The hits keep on coming. Silence for now. Zibe rolls on in, and Copy immediately on top of Seneko. He's dead. They will buy back for a moment. Meanwhile, Hand of God comes out. Gunnar chasing this puck around as Zibe gets beaten to death by Yuma. A double kill out. Midnight Pulse there, but Yuma's still very, very strong. Stormstormer being chased by Copy. A couple more hits. He is Gleipnir'd, but not dead yet. Second round of Gleipnir, Stormstormer gets away.
And in the meantime, there's also Broodmother in the game. Brood's pushing top.
Okay.
Never joined the fight. Didn't feel like it was one that he wanted to be a part of. He's getting Shard next, so that is a damage item, of course. And I'm sure he recognizes that damage is going to be the name of the game here, is killing that Sven, but yeah. It's awkward because the fight that we just saw with the black hole and everything, those are conditions that you can't necessarily expect to happen, right?
It was almost the perfect fight.
Right, and when you're itemizing as Brood, you're probably not envisioning that this is the fight you're getting in 10 minutes.
Yes.
So you have to make the choice at the moment, and he chose the Lincolns. And I can't sit here and say, man, that was such a bad choice, because imagine if he had damage there. It's just, now that that does happen and your Enigma is building this way, you have to make the choice of what type of game do you think this is going to be. And unfortunately for him, in that instance, it was the opposite one of the one he built for. Later down the line, maybe he gets to Lincoln off a Sven's stun and he survives and they get a black hole because of it. And then he's like, hell yeah, I'm so glad I bought Lincolns.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So it's like, it's just really difficult to make the perfect itemization in a game like this. And damn it if you do, damn it if you don't kind of situation for him. He is now going, it looks to be Shard into Butterfly. So that's a hybrid aggro defensive item.
All right.
I don't know, now that you've seen a fight unfold, is there a world where you get big damage? Like, just get Daedalus here? I don't know.
Conda Rapier.
Not as good.
Okay.
The hero you're thinking about is Luna.
Okay.
Brood is a different female hero.
Got it. I mean, she's got the little, you know, the Spawn Spiderlings funness.
I thought you were going to start comparing similarities.
No, not doing that. That's not what we're doing. We're moving on now. Yuma is hitting this tower. That tier 3 starts to go down, but 50 seconds left on this Aegis. And in the meantime, Brood, Smiling Knight.
Error.
Oh!
Nice error.
Oh, black hole onto Gunnar.
That's not great. Even if he dies, I think.
I mean, Gunnar might die.
He will die.
Gunnar.
Eventually.
Gunnar. Spirit Vessel.
He will not die.
Gunnar living. And Yuma hit. Looking for a bit more. Doesn't even need it, though. 20 seconds until that Aegis. So Gunnar living.
Okay, that's Black Hole. So, what are Nouns going to do now? Their Aegis is expiring, to be fair, so maybe high grounding is still a little bit dangerous, but they know for 2 minutes that there's not too much of a threat.
Oh, he messed up on Copy. He didn't have the alt cast on. He messed up into getting maybe a kill onto Puck, or maybe he goes down here in some trouble. BKB hitting, trying to live, and not gonna happen. Oh, look at, he is not happy about that one. He is not happy about that one.
Okay.
10K gold lead, but they do lose the monkey there.
It's something. Now, they can't get Roche, obviously, as Aegis just expired. So what ground are you going to gain here? If nothing else, just farm time for the Brood to maybe start closing the gap. And of course, we've talked a lot about the Brood, but ever so quietly, Stormstormer is actually becoming a potential carry candidate for the game on the Puck. With the Octarine core, it ramps up his farming speed, it ramps up his ability to avoid getting caught off and just maximizing across the map. He's almost level 25 along with the Sven. And the Puck 25 talents, they're quite good. He's looking at a potential overwhelming blink as his next item, rather than taking a bit of a damage route with his Shard.
36 minutes. And if this puck does start to scale, I mean, again, the big problem with this is that it is going to be Enigma BKB Black Hole. Like, we've kind of been memeing about it and some of the moments that have happened, but honestly, he can still win them this game.
Oh, for sure.
At so many points, I feel like.
I don't think Nouns are very far ahead at all, actually. They haven't taken racks. Sven is on this hero, eventually does expire. Whereas the Enigma there's plenty of room to grow. Now, by no means Nouns are still in a good position. It's not that, but it's not like, okay, done deal kind of thing. Yuma will find a pick here on Soneko and get him his 25 God Strength damage.
Him on Yuma being able to take out the clockwork like that without popping God Strength is got to be a little concerning, though, for Avulus.
He's critting for 1200 non-ult.
Yeah.
And now we also have the cart on Centaur, which can be a true wild card against the type of fights that Avulus are proposing.
Astronomical gravity power versus one cart.
Yeah. Who would win? It's always the Carpenters, man.
Yuma. Hit for the moment, but still chilling out here. They have a ward on the low ground to try and scout any of these moves and spot for a moment of weakness. And yeah, I mean, as Nouns, Roche is going to be capable of respawning in about 5 seconds, but with Dreamcoil Pierce's spell immunity, Stormstormer has pulled this game into a pretty interesting position.
Yeah. Looks like he's rethinking his build too. He does not want to get the overwhelming blink. Now he's eyeing up a Lincoln's.
They all want Lincolns.
Do you know what I mean if I say it's not ambitious enough?
Sure.
I feel like it's sometimes you're itemizing not to lose rather than to win. I would really like to see a more aggressive approach here on the puck where you've actually given yourself a really strong game now, and what your team needs is for heroes to get killed off, not for you to live.
Okay.
I mean, obviously you need to live to deal the damage, okay? But
they
like,
are. I mean,
he hasn't died in this game in like 20 minutes.
Would it change your mind at all if you saw that Lelis is about to finish a Lincoln or a Hex? Does that change your thought process at all with this?
I mean, it obviously makes it better, but okay. I don't know. Maybe it's a necessity. Maybe there's no way around it. We'll see.
Into the pit they go. Avulus running. They're throwing out orbs. Roche is about to go down.
That's
this is Aghanim Scepter.
Yep.
Gunner.
Big.
Oh! Big stun. Where's the backup? Where are they? Eki, he gets the axe delivered to him. Now they have actual damage
Yuma
through him.
The back.
Yuma looking, hunting, Stormstormer. He's right on top of him, but he immediately phase shifts. He gets away. Now backing out, Copy, Yuma, they're right next to each other. They're trying to get out. Eki still has that black hole at the ready. Gunner carded up, pulling them around, and it looks like it's just going to be a disengage.
Yeah. I think this is 100% the right call. This arena got really awkward for Eki. He couldn't find a good black hole. Obviously, Nouns are going to do their best to not pile heroes on top of each other, and it is difficult. As soon as the fight gets scrappy and the Monkey King is playing in the trees and your puck is forced out of the fight, eventually you kind of just have to call quits. And you still maintain the Aegis and you got the Axe, so it was a very good result regardless.
I thought they might be able to go in for that Broodmother there, but not going to be the case.
So there's Stormstormer's Lincolns. He will commit for it. I mean, I see what you're saying. With the Hex coming out on the Hoodwink, maybe this is just the safer approach.
Yeah.
And perhaps the damage issues that I'm looking at aren't as severe now that Brood is kind of getting there, as long as they get a big black hole.
Right.
The question is just, do you want to put Eki under so much pressure that every team fight kind of rides or dies with him eventually? And is that too simplified of a perspective regardless? Like, do they have enough in the tank? Pango isn't doing much damage. He's just a control bot. So it's the Clockwork. So I'm really looking at, can Puck and Brood kill heroes that aren't black holed? And they can absolutely kill the supports, but I'm still struggling to see it a little bit with the cores. But let's see if they can string a fight together where they're able to do it. And also, let's see if Smiling Knight, all right, he will back off at the right time there. That would have been pretty criminal to die out there alone.
He's had a pretty good read, it feels like, on these moments. And for Nouns, I mean, I don't know. The windows of where they want to take fights, how they want to hit timings feel really awkward now. because you would imagine with this last Aegis, they would want to put some serious damage onto the buildings. They'll smoke up, and this feels like the right play, but you're playing into an Aegis now.
The asterisk on the previous fight was that Sven barely touched anyone, right?
Right.
He wrapped around the pit, got spotted by detection, and then he got Stormstormer got to dodge because he had the gem himself. If he gets to stun the puck there and just kill him off, they probably win the fight really hard. So it's definitely not outside of the range, the realm of possibility that Nouns just with the smoke find a jump and just kill a hero and start a fight that way. But so far,
now Fly.
No luck.
That is a rough one. They workhorse him away. Gunner saving for now. Stormstormer, Seneko eyeing up these heroes. And with the whole squad together, Nouns, a smoke missed, retreat back to their own high ground. Pings come out for the tier 2 tower. I mean, going up this hill, they're just going to do it. Smiling Knight steps up on top. They see a lot here. And Eki blinks forward. Lelis spots him. Hex dead. Oh, and now Gunner finds and going to pull back in the Sven. They want to go for the kill, but the heal is there, so they're fine for the moment on Lelis. Now, Stormstormer trying to get out. Copy. They got eyes on it. They hook shot forward. Looking for more. There's the stomp onto Snako. Yuma pulls him in, brings him down. Buyback onto the Enigma. He's looking from up on high. Yuma's right there. Next to Copy. Jumps in. Black Hole catches the boat. Do they have enough damage? Wukong command is down. Yuma turns with the Satanic. A couple more hits. It keeps him alive. Yuma is too strong for you. Eki is going to die. That is a dieback, and now looking for more. It was so close, but in the end, they just didn't quite have the damage. Cinder, and you are right about the Lincolns. Oh, no.
They're just missing the last 10%, and that is a totally different story.
Wow.
And I think Soneko's not making it out of this either. Copy, they're stampeded. He's a goner. Okay, so first of all, this is a two-phase fight, right?
Yeah.
In the first one, Enigma blind blinks in and Midnight pulses in hopes to catch the Monkey King. He doesn't and just dies on the spot. So high risk, high reward play. I can admire it. It was kind of crazy, but if he gets the monkey there, that could have been huge. Doesn't happen. He dies, buys back, and then the second black hole. It looks so promising, but man, they're just missing so little damage.
That's all they needed.
But that's it. That's Satanic in a nutshell, man. Ultimately, they damage Sven for like 3,500. He swings 3 times, and guess what? You did 0 damage.
Copy. Finds Smiling Knight. The hits, they keep on coming. Gleipnir down.
That will be blocked by the Lincolns. Okay.
And now, well, Gunner's going to pull him over this direction, and he's hitting in the workhorse.
Jeez, he almost killed him. Okay.
Dream Coil, only onto 1.
That's not great.
Black Hole, 60 seconds away.
And Eki is quick buying up a refresher. I don't think he has the mana for it.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Usually when we see offlane Enigmas go this build route with the Blink BKB, they will get an Octarine in between because they need the mana pool. And obviously it's also nice to have lower cooldown on all your stuff. But what is Black Hole Refresh? Black Hole is 1175 mana. Because it's 2 times 400 plus 375, right?
BKB also costs mana now.
Yeah, so let's do the simplified version. Let's say he wants to BKB Black Hole BKB. Or, excuse me, BKB Black Hole Refresh Black Hole.
Okay.
And, okay, 2 BKBs. He needs 2. Yeah? That's 100 plus 2 Black Holes. That's 900. And the Refresher, that's 1275. He has 1191.
He needs a little more.
And then he can't Midnight Pulse, which is mandatory, because they're not killing the Sven without the Midnight Pulse.
Right.
So he flat out just doesn't have enough mana, and this is with the Psychic Headband tier 3 that he has. I'm assuming his tier 4 neutral item options did not give him mana. He's running around with the token, but hasn't used it. So, I don't know. This seems a little bit dangerous.
Maybe he'll buy some Nouns or something.
Maybe it's enough with a couple of levels. He just got a level from the Wisdom.
It's Telescope that he gets. Swaps that in.
Yeah,
so,
now he definitely doesn't have enough mana. Uh-oh.
I mean, we'll see.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But the math is the math.
Stay in school, kids. You gotta know your numbers.
Copy. Drops the Wukong. Now they jump. Seneko there. Eki black hole, but it's too scary to run into this one. Now they roll, jump in, Stormstormer, good damage.
Oh my god, he almost died to the ring.
He's died to it. Not only that, but the retaliate. I mean, it's a lot.
Okay.
I need a phase shift to stay alive. Force staff keeps Yuma okay for now. Hits a creep, backs away. Ooh, that was close. Stormstormer living on a prayer and dying in a nightmare. Eki, BKB.
Oh, they force his BKB. That's so big.
Oh, man.
Even with a puck buyback now, just somebody with a stun needs to not get caught in the black hole, and Eki can't commit it.
85 seconds. Gunner, not afraid of anything. Eki, he can't BKB black hole. He can't do it. Gunner's trying to back away. The Force Staff gets him out for the moment. A bash onto Yuma, just tickling the Sven. They do not have
Missed
what it takes at this point. Fly off to the side, sharpshooter out. And BKB back up in 50 seconds. I mean, like you said, they're putting so much pressure onto this Enigma.
Yeah.
Living or dying at this point by it. And one racks down. Can they take more? I mean, Smiling Knight, that insatiable hunger bat is no joke on level 25.
That's true. I mean, he does deal pretty significant damage now, but he still doesn't have a crit.
Right.
And he's not buying one. He's buying Abyssal next. So still room to grow for him. What's left for the Sven to get? Moonshard or Ags, I suppose. He's pretty much maxed out. He gave up his boots.
Superman status.
Yeah, I don't think there's a point in buying the Ags. It's probably just better to buy the Moonshard here. But we'll see what he chooses.
Well, we're
saving for buyback for now, of course.
A minute away from Roche. Puck running around with the gem, hoping to find this vision. There's none up here at the moment. And you got to imagine Nouns wanting to keep control of this area. Fly might start sending some of these creeps around, but they are pretty valuable in the engagements too. The auras
having
are nice.
The Black Dragon and having the Granite Golem. I mean, look at Centaur's health next to the Granite Golem. He had 6,000 health.
That's pretty insane.
The extra percentage there from the Granite Golem is pretty massive.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Yeah. The base is starting to fall on the Dire side. Eventually they're going to have to defend with something, or they're going to lose their melee rec spot. There's a lot of super ranged creeps pushing.
The rocket flares will help. It.
Yeah.
Stormstormer, Gunner, face checks the hill, immediately breaks smoke. And TP's out to bottom. Oh, they're going to try and catch him there first. They're on the other side. Copy jumps in. He's right on top of him. And now going boundless strike out. But not chasing. Weird. Very weird. Yuma finds one. Hits Smiling Knight. Has to back away. But now they've used God Strength. Roche goes through. Eki finding the Monkey King. Pops the BKB black hole. But immediately he gets pulled out. Oh, no. One strong Centaur with the cart, and all your gravitational flow is over. Smiling Knight pulled back in, a couple crit, he's gone. That is unfortunate.
The less structured the fight is, the harder it is for Avulus. The moment things get chaotic and heroes start spreading out in all sorts of formation, it is so difficult for them to find what they need.
Rapier on Monkey King. And they're trying to end this game right now, it seems.
Okay.
As they will hit buildings. Copy. I mean, it's a little bit scary if we're going to be honest. Refresher bought for Yuma. Jumps in, stun, not going to happen. Copy hitting tier 4 towers. He's getting pushed a little bit now. The call might be out that the Rapier is there on deck. Stormstormer hitting onto Yuma. The roll comes back in. Copy half HP. Now hitting for more. Seneko jumps in, tries to find him. In trouble, he gets saved again. Gunner with this workhorse has been doing everything, but now they're all in for Copy, trying to find that monkey, but they won't get him. Now Smiling Knight hitting onto Yuma. The stun is out. They hit onto the spider, trying to squish this bug. Can't get him yet. Backs away, runs, stuns, and done. Stormstormer just gets hit by one big boundless. GG is called as Nouns managed to close out this series. One of the weirdest best of threes that I've ever cast. Gotta say.
Yeah, this was absolutely the most normal of the 3 games.
Yes.
This one made the most sense to me, but ultimately, yeah, Nouns, they come out victorious. They did a very good job with, especially, I feel like the way they played around, I want to say the Roches and just the vision and using Monkey King and getting the initiations, and maybe also something about the ease of execution. It felt like Eki had to do so much in the Enigma and just 1 or 2 missteps and it's all over.
A lot of happy faces there as Nouns end it off. Avulus going to have to go down to the lower bracket as we head on back to the panel.
This game did not really play out the way we thought it would. We thought Avulus was going to be on a very hard timer and they were going to set a high pace. And they didn't do that, but they did drag the game out very long. It was Nouns that looked like they were on the winning hand for a long, long time. I think Yuma's Sven was definitely the ultimate raid boss that Avulus just could not touch. And even if they could, there always was a Centaur to bail him out. Same thing for Copy, was bailed out by the Centaur a lot. A lot to break down here, Lizard, for this third game.
A lot to break down just watching at this series, because I don't know where I am anymore. Like from game number 1 to game number 2 and now to the finalization of the series in some weird black holes and brood mothers from the safe lane. Yeah, I have to say that brood mother from the safe lane, it did look much better than I thought it would be, at least at the beginning stages of the game. I love the hero. I didn't think that this was the correct game for it. However, Smiling Knight, he was unstoppable at some point. He made it work, rotations around the mid lane. He was very aggressive coming off of the laning stage. That also was kind of interesting with a lot of Eki rotations, with the Enigma not necessarily doing a lot. It was spicy at the beginning. A lot of tips happened as well.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Avulus, this kind of felt like the theme of the entire game, right? You got to use the black hole, you put it on a Monkey King, sure you get a kill, but then Yuma turns up. Even though he jumps into black hole without the BKB, he's able to survive it, turn it around, and then every single fight, the pressure moved from will the Brood do damage or the Pango control to will Eki hit the black hole. And that's because they forced it so heavily in the draft. They opened up the Enigma in the second phase. They made themselves flex it to a support in a weaker role that we don't see in the meta. And in Nouns, they just capitalize on it, you know? Copy's got a little bit of emotion, but again, he had a great game, 13-3 and 15. Yuma as well on his Sven, 18-1 and 10. Yuma, time and time again on the Sven, is just crushing the game. And I feel like you might give a little bit of credit for Avulus from stretching the game out.
You might.
Definitely.
There we go. But Nouns, they just kind of, I felt like they were just chilling. Like they knew that they were in this.
I feel like those emotions that you just saw from him are from the fact that he owned mid lane, and then it kind of all fell apart later on by some. It didn't all fall apart, but it was a little bit more difficult maybe than he expected, because in the laning stage he was all smiles and giggling because doubling the CS of the puck, also killing him once solo. So overall, you can understand that he was feeling the pressure a little bit later on, but still 13-3 on the Monkey King, 18-1 on the Sven. Like Sven was forgotten for a long time, but every now and then he just shows up and carries the game.
Yeah, I feel like we've seen him a couple of times now, and every time I'm like, wow, he's going to be really hard to kill at some point. I will also say that when I see these score lines, it just begs the question, how did this game get past to the 50-minute mark?
Because strategically, Nouns did lay off the pressure a little bit sometimes, which allowed Avulus to take a Roshan or two, and there were of course some fights where the Black Hole did connect to at least get a kill. So I think of course there was a back and forth. Nouns, they had to take time to win out this game, but that's testament to Avulus. Keep trying, but again, weird series. I don't know.
Strange series. I mean, we find it a strange series. Maybe for the players, this is just another Tuesday. We're finding out though, because it's Slacks that gets to ask the questions to Copy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, panel. Copy, a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for one hell of a fun series to watch out there. How are you feeling coming out of that bad boy?
Feeling pretty good. Obviously, a win is nice. I wish it could have gone cleaner as always, but win is a win. That's all that matters.
Absolutely. Now, sorry to do this to you, but I'd like to walk through each game, and especially extremely interested in the first game of that series. Tell me everything about it. Like, what happened in that game one, and what were you guys talking about in that one? Like, how did that feel for you?
Okay, game one, I feel like lanes went fine, and we had a very greedy draft, and it was kind of weird. Like, I felt like we didn't use many smokes. Because we didn't have our timings. Then we got our timings, and we were like, let's use smokes. And some of you had no smokes. I don't know what happened, but then we were just like, okay, guys, let's wait for smoke. We have it in 6 minutes. And then we kind of like, we can't do shit. Game felt awkward. I looked at the damage graphs. We had 4k damage on like each hero in 35 minutes or some shit. I'm sure that was fucking devastating to watch. It was fucking devastating to play as well, but you know, let's forget first game.
Okay, that's okay. You know what? We should probably forget that one. But it was good that you guys put that behind you, and then we had that incredible performance in game two. Now, you told me walking up that you were not proud of this performance. You basically solo carried that game, I thought.
I don't think so.
No?
No, I don't. I mean, I think fucking Yuma did a lot with the Alchemist. He had like 11 and 1 scoreline.
Sure.
I mean, I just picked Tinker because this guy just playing Viper or some shit on mid. I don't know, man. They have no jump for me, and Tinker's like my signature, but I haven't played in a while, so it's a bit rusty. So I had like 2 bad deaths, which kind of delayed the game a bit. If I don't have those, I think we end earlier.
Any words out there to those support Tinkers? Are they like disgusting compared to, you know, that core Tinker, the classic, or do you have respect for those support boys too?
Zero respect for the support Tinkers. All of them. My team plays it as well. They abuse it for MMR. Zero respect. It's all fake.
That's good to hear. And then let's talk about game 3. How did you think that one went out? You know, I was thinking about having Gunnar for this interview, and he said, absolutely not. I fed. I was awful. Is that how you felt? Who was the MVP and who was the LVP of that last game?
LVP are obviously all the enemies. All 5 of them.
We go.
MVP, I thought Yuma played very well. He got hella farmed. He made a lot of clutch plays. Definitely him.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on continuing up. It is great to see you guys fulfilling that potential that we've seen in the last few events here. So very exciting. Are you whoa, what is that about?
We haven't fulfilled anything.
What?
This tournament, we kind of went into it with like the mindset when we saw the teams, we were supposed to do well. I don't think we got top 6 now, I think. It's not what we're looking for right now.
Absolutely, and I believe you're up against Falcons next, if I'm correct there. That is a frightening opponent. Are you guys going to be ready? Are you going to have such an exciting series for us next time?
For my sake, I hope it's not exciting. That was going to be a quick 2-0 for us. Falcons, obviously, in my eyes, they're like the best team, kind of, even though they didn't do amazing at TI, I guess, for their standards. But I respect them a lot. I hope we can match up to them.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys can too. And I respect the hell out of you for making it through that one. Thank you very much, my friend. That was a great series to watch. And we'll close out that series and today with our panel.
A great series to watch if we don't count game 1. I'll just correct him on that one. We sometimes beat around which a little bit, like everything's great, everything's wonderful. I'm not going to let that one slide. I will say I'm also very happy to hear from copies like, you know, it wasn't clean, but a win is a win, and that is fair. And that he's not happy with his performance, or his team's performance rather. I'm happy you said that as well, because I think, that if they play the way they did today against Falcons tomorrow, it is going to be a quick 2-0, but not for them.
Yeah, no, they were pretty slow paced today. Of course, we need to find out who used the smokes in game 1.
Yeah,
of course, we were
someone
wondering.
get on that.
There was a lack of movement from them. We were saying on the panel, they have Beast, they have Co-op, like where was it happening? So if anyone wants to be the detective and find out who used all the smokes, could be pretty good. But yeah, I think Nouns, they have to, before their series tomorrow, they got to do a lot of improvements, because if they are playing this slow against Falcons, they will lose their map, they will be punished. And a team like Avulus, who also isn't the quickest, it's a good matchup for Nouns. But Falcon, completely different story. So I'm hoping for Nouns' sake they are able to dissect this series before they play tomorrow and give us a good showing.
Yeah, let's see if they can. Let's see what's happening tomorrow, actually, because tomorrow is another day full with best of 3s. Now, today was nice. Today we didn't eliminate anybody. Tomorrow, that's a different story, because this is the bracket at the moment. Ooh. And we've had all first round upper bracket matches played today. So still 8 teams in, Lizard.
Still 8 teams in.
We got 4 upper, 4 lower.
We have some spicy. Where are we going to start? Lower bracket?
We're going to start lower, yeah.
Lower, of course, right? Like, we have some very spicy lower bracket matches. Like, immediately off of the beginning, 10 a.m., Infinity versus Navi. I'm not even sure where to lean on this one because Infinity faced an incredible opponent today. They got 2-0 by Heroic. Honestly, most of us are thinking Heroic are a top 3 material at least, so no shame there. And Infinity has been improving steadily. On the other side, Navi ain't looking too shabby as well, at least today, right?
Yeah, they're doing pretty decent, but I think Beastcoast has had the biggest glow up from group stage to now. Of course, they've had to go from a 0-2 in the Swiss to now from being 3-2. And honestly, Avulus, I think, coming into this, I was excited to see them maybe be a strong top 6 team.
Yeah.
But the more I see them play, I can see them being eliminated. I think Beastcoast is on the up. Avulus is very quickly on the down. And again,
they played each other as well, first match of the Swiss group stage, and it was Avulus that won, but it was a close one. It was 2-1.
Yeah, it was, but
I have to completely agree with you. I think that Avulus have been a little bit figured out here and there. Even this Viper pick got answered very nicely by Nouns. And when someone finds an opening in your armor like that, it leaves you for everyone to exploit, right?
I think the good thing so far in the tournament is I think, other than maybe Falcons, of course, being the strongest, we'll see tomorrow against Nouns, but I think every team has the ability to out-prepare their opponents and, become the favorite in the series, right? Like, I think right now it's like, I favor Beastcoast over Avulus, but Avulus, they do one change in a pick and suddenly they can win a game again. So I think it's very close. It's hard to really call favorites, but yeah, I think... Also, Heroic Tundra.
Heroic Tundra is...
That's actually something.
And it's also a series that has already happened, right? And Heroic took it, I believe it was 2-1.
Tundra wants revenge.
They
want to seek that punishment.
Yes.
And they don't want...
Speaking of teams that have improved, right? Like, Tundra is definitely one of those that... Of course, they started with stand-ins, so they needed time to gel a little bit to figure out what their true style is. I believe that they have figured out quite a lot from the last time they matched Heroics. It's going to be a very close battle tomorrow.
Yeah, the stand-in situation, the deeper you go in the tournament, the more you get to know each other, and Tundra has shown that they have been able to adapt. We'll see what comes for them tomorrow, and of course the final series of the day. We've talked about it a little bit already with Falcons taking on Nouns, and we better hope that both teams are fresh for that one, and then we should have a good competitive best of three on our hands. Lot to go through tomorrow. 2 upper bracket, 2 lower brackets. So we're going to see 2 teams be eliminated tomorrow, and we're going to see 2 teams locked in the top 3 tomorrow. So everyone better get a good night's rest, and that goes for you as well. Maybe you need to do some things still before bed. That's time to do it now because the Dota here is over. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We'll be back with more PGL Wallachia tomorrow.